Get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
You know, you see, I can see the lever.
On the bike, you can stand up.
Yeah, we were doing this like whip comp thing. I think I got him, you know, covered.
Here, Jack Rapella, Nick Garvin here with you. So excited, so pumped up.
Unfortunately for the 77, he got the flu this week.
This off-road stuff is the hardest I've ever encountered to set a bike up for.
Here we go. Gate drop. We are off, guys. The NGPC series is underway. You have to push yourself. This track will, and it can jump up and bite you in a split second, and you're on the ground going, what happened? So, and the roost here hurts, so you don't want to follow too closely. I would add one more to that. I would add that you have to have luck, and with racing, sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, your winner of round number 4. How about a Jeremy McGrath knack?
How about a checkered flag, a Buffalo magnificent performance for Ryan Surratt? Put him down in the history books. The factory KTM looking smooth. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to your winner, round number 5. For the first time ever, Dante Oliveira wins 29 palms. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, unofficially, your winner today, Cole Martinez. Did we say never give up? If there has ever been a lesson about perseverance, if there has ever been a lesson about sticking to it on the last few turns, about 50 miles from Los Angeles, California, lies the roughest, toughest, baddest track in all the land. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Glen Helen Raceway. Welcome to round number 3 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series hosted by the Prairie Dogs. My name's Jack Rapella, and alongside Dirt Bikes Magazine's Mark Tilley, here we go. Round 3. Always fun to come to Glen Helen, and this year it's a much different Glen Helen than what we're used to.
Yeah, no, this year it's definitely different from last year. Last year it was pouring down rain. This year it's one of those things to where it was dry and windy, but now got a little overcast, got a little sprinkle. The track changes that the Prairie Dogs have made since Friday's unclassified practice to now, absolutely amazing. The pros are going to have some, just picture perfect conditions for this hour-and-a-half race. It's going to be great. There's going to be no dust. There's a great course out there that flows really well. Trevor, Hunter, and the whole Prairie Dogs crew putting something together. I'm excited. I'm excited for this race. My race was cut a little bit short today, this morning, and it was one of those things to where all I wanted to do was ride more. So it's definitely going to be a cool event.
I'm pumped up, guys. We got a lot to talk about. We got points battles heating up. We got new riders coming in some of the categories. It is going to be exciting, that is for sure. And track conditions just absolutely ideal. 53 degrees today in San Bernardino. We were supposed to get washed out by a rainstorm. Luckily, that missed us. Just a little sprinkle, and we have perfect racing conditions. We also want to thank the Prairie Dogs MC, who has such an important role in this race. And earlier today, Mark Tilley had an opportunity to catch up with the Prairie Dogs. Let's take you to that.
All right, so as long as I can remember, I've been doing this series since about the early 2000s. As long as I can remember, Prairie Dogs, Glen Helen, they've been a part of this series. And there's a lot of rich history. We have Craig Hunter, former president of the Prairie Dogs, here to tell us a little bit about that history.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, the Prairie Dogs, they've been around since 1973. We were primarily a desert racing club back then. We did that for years and years. And in fact, in the early 70s, Pro Circuit's Mitch Payton, he was part of the Prairie Dogs before he got his injury. So we did desert racing till the mid-'80s. And the mid-late 80s, we went to Parish Raceway. We threw our first Grand Prix there for a couple of years. And then Bud Feldkamp, Gene Romero, and Malcolm Smith, we kind of all got together wanting to put on a large-scale Grand Prix here at Glen Helen. And so we all got together. Prairie Dogs were the first off-road Grand Prix to incorporate the pavilion and all of Glen Helen back in the 1990 or so. And we did. It was called the Malcolm Smith Grand Prix, hosted by the Prairie Dogs for the first 4 or 5 years. Once the Big Six was established in 1995. Prairie Dogs were incorporated into that, and we have been here ever since. And now Nick Garvin, our current president, has helped take the race to the next level.
So now, Nick, let's get you in here. You can talk about what you guys are doing currently. Now, I've had the pleasure of racing against Nick and working with Nick as well. So, Nick, tell us what you guys got going on now.
I stepped in as president the last 3 years, and my focus was bringing the youth to the series, utilizing like Trevor Hunter, Nicholas Carson Bear, and our external youth guys, and implementing that into our race courses, which have been substantially fun. I think the racers can agree, and just having fun with the club, and I think that's a huge part of why this event works so great.
So now you just named a lot of racers. So now you guys have current racers that are helping with the courses and stuff like that. How does that
translate into more of a fun course for everybody to ride?
Well, as you know, it's the racer eye, right, Mark? I mean, honestly, it all comes down to what we see differently, and honestly, I think the youth sees things a little bit differently, and that's what translates into great courses. We are blessed with Glen Helen, yes, but I think it's fair to say we use a lot of things that don't get utilized throughout the year because of guys like Trevor and Tyler Belknap and myself. So, yeah.
Well, so there you have it, Jack. They got a lot of history with this club, lots of stuff going on. They've incorporated a lot of new things on the line and how everything goes. So I don't think this club is going anywhere, and I can't wait to come back here next to you. Back to you guys.
Great job with that, Mark. And again, big shout out to the Prairie Dogs Club because we couldn't do this without them. Their whole staff. Trevor Hunter, by the way, our track designer today, taking the script, ripping it up, throwing it out the window, giving us a completely different, grueling 8-mile track. It's going to be very, very exciting to watch. Before we go any further, though, guys, we're inching closer and closer to the start of today's race. But earlier, I was able to catch up with Australia's Sam Pretscherer, who is absolutely on fire. Let's take you to that.
A lot of different racers from a lot of different backgrounds. Sam Pretscherer, all the way from Australia, a Hare and Hound champion. How is that experience with Hare and Hound helping you here? Because last race, second place, very, very impressive.
Honestly, the Hare and Hound wasn't such a big adaptation to make. Like, I was already pretty comfortable in those sort of conditions. It was the GP style that really got me. I grew up with a very basic level of motocross skills before moving to off-road. Like, I only really made C grade, so I sort of, like a real young kid in Australia, I did a little bit of motocross, but not a whole heap. And the biggest difference here was GPs. These guys are fast. Like, these guys qualify for pro motocross races, so a big learning curve was straight away here. Hare and Hound I was pretty comfortable in, but in the GPs I was 8th, 11th. I've had some pretty bad results, so it was just a massive learning curve, working with the likes of Robbie Bell just to try and get the motocross side of things up to scratch. And most of my training's been on motocross tracks. Like, I haven't really spent all that much time in the desert, which is surprising because it's my main series. But this is what I moved here for, was to race GPs as well. So to get that experience up and to get to where I was. And last year I had a few, I had one race where I podiumed at the very end of the year, and I was also in a podium position at Lake Havasu, but I had a mechanical at the end of the race in the last 2 laps. So, it's just been a massive learning curve and learning how to ride motocross fast and really trying to get those, those types of conditions down pat was difficult for me. And it took me the whole year to get it. So in the end, I was able to get there, and I think the GPs was more of a struggle than the Hare and Hound for sure.
We see a lot of great racers come over from Australia, and I know there's a wonderful scene over there. So what is it in particular that brought you to the United States to race?
Honestly, just growing up, watching a lot of videos of Kurt Caselli and all those guys. I looked up to Kurt a lot growing up, and all the stuff of his I used to watch and love, and all the Hare and Hound stuff especially. So I grew up, that's where I knew I wanted to be, and literally from 7 years old, I used to watch the videos, and I knew I wanted to come to the States one day, and I was going to make it happen no matter what. So I'm here. I'm doing what I wanted. I'm racing the series I wanted to, and also works and GP and all that. It's all been a big part of it.
He's a racer on the rise. Wish him well. I told you, it is an international happening out here at the AMA NGPC series. That's right, and a lot of racers from Australia. So happy Monday morning to all of our fans watching in Australia, because Sam told me, Mason told me that a lot of people are up and they're very excited to see our coverage 19 hours ahead, pulling for the boys from Australia.
Well, and just like talking to Sam, he mentioned Kurt Caselli and Nathan Woods and all those people that are actually racing. I got to race with and got to be on the track at the same time as those guys. And this is another generation that they've influenced from this series, not seeing it on live feed like we can see it today, and not seeing it the ways or consuming it the ways that we consume it today, but they were waiting. They were waiting for cycle news. They were waiting for websites to actually say what's going on. So that's really cool. I'm excited about that interview.
I love it. It is exciting to see where we're going, and we are closing in on a start. As you can see, a lot of our pro racers congregating there, ready to head to the gate. And that's right, I said gate. Most NGPC races feature a dead engine start. Here, we will be leaving off of a standard motocross gate.
Well, and yeah, you got in that interview with Nick Garvin. He says that they try to do stuff different. This is the only one so far that is actually starting off of a gate. So, and it's cool. It adds something different to the whole persona. But this track is about as unique as you can get. And I got to hand it to Trevor Hunter and the whole crew at Prairie Dogs, everybody that's out there helping with it. We came here on Friday, and the course wasn't up to par. It would have been really hard to race on. They took some constructive criticism and went back to the drawing board, like you said earlier, Jack, and they gave us a course that is absolutely amazing. Like, it flows really well. It's got some high-speed stuff. It's got some tight technical stuff. It's got a rock garden area that hopefully we'll be able to see on the drones. It's got some pavement areas. So it's got just about everything that you can think of. And that's a shout out to those guys because they did a lot of changes to make it to what it is. And then Mother Nature smiling down on us with the overcast conditions, a little bit of precipitation, I can't say it, but a little bit of rain basically for layman's terms. But it's definitely, Glen Helen is a unique situation and a unique course that is going to be great to race. I can't wait for these races to start.
Yes, it will. And when I talked about Trevor Hunter's track design, here's something to take note of. This is the first time Talladega turn is used twice in course. Mm-hmm. We see it once on the start, and then they come back around the opposite way, which is so creative. I love it. By and large, we're running the track in reverse from what we're used to from a lot of the vet nationals, two-stroke nationals, things like that. But they have so much real estate here in San Bernardino, California, this mecca of speed. They can really do a lot. I know you've spent so many years here, Mark Tilley, and you can speak to this better than anybody. This place is rocking and rolling 5-6 days a week. There aren't a whole lot of places left to ride in Southern California. This is one of the best right here. Oftentimes you'll see factory guys here week in, week out practicing. It is really, really cool. It is a special place, and I'm so happy for them this weekend because as we take a look high atop Mount St. Glen Helen, you ready for this? My last count, I heard 1,831 entries here this weekend.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing facility. There is so much here that we do get kind of into the rut of running the same stuff all the time. And that's one of the things with Trevor, that it's nice because there's stuff that we don't run all the time. And then there's stuff that we do get to run every once in a while. But this course is doing a lot of stuff that I've never done in that actual direction. And that's kind of saying something. Like, they're being really creative with stuff. But, you know, there's a lot more stuff at Glen Helen that you can make kind of different. And so it's great for the Prairie Dogs to do that.
And look at this great shot, too. Look at the camaraderie with Moto KK, Ava Silvestri. They're ready to go head-to-head and race, but right now, nothing but friendship, laughs as they get ready to go. That's also Dare DeMartille coming in third place on his factory beta. And we're going to meet these racers in just a second. As soon as we get the green light to bring you call-ups, we will. But, Mark, take me inside the mind of a racer. You got your helmet on. You're waiting for the race in front of you to finish. What are the nerves like? What are the butterflies like as they prepare to drop the gate here at Glen Helen?
For myself, I'm a lot of people come up to me and ask me why I'm yawning, and that's just my way of coping with the jitters a little bit. All my kids do the same thing, but right now they're just wanting to get this going. They're all ready to go. They're feeling all the kind of jitters and everything like that, but they're definitely ready to go. They're ready to race and have fun. So, like you can look, both of those two are locked in. Like they're definitely ready for this to start. They're waiting for you to start telling them when to go and what they can do and go from there. And again, another very unique situation coming off the gate. for this. So there is those guys that I know. Giacomo Rodondi has been having some trouble with the starts because he's kind of pushing the button and it's not working right away. But he came off yesterday and I think got 2 whole shots in the races that he raced and then 2 wins. So it's going to be a little bit different this time.
He's always one to watch here at Glen Helen as we get set for AHM call-ups just a few moments away here. It is FMF Presents round number 3 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series hosted by the Prairie Dogs. We want to thank our live stream sponsor, Honda, our premier sponsor, Precision Concepts, our drone sponsor, Seek Concepts and Skaggs Racing. We'll continue to pay homage to them all throughout this broadcast. But folks, if you're watching at home, make sure you support those who support your sport. Without further ado, are you ready to meet today's starting lineup for round number 3 of the NGPC series? Let's get it on. Let's go with AHM call-ups. And we begin, ladies and gentlemen, in the pro women category with the big number 1 on her motorcycle out of Team SLR Honda. Let's hear it for Michaela Moto KK Nielsen. Can anybody stop Moto KK? That is the question du jour. But in hot pursuit of her, another very tough lady on her gas, number 454. Let's hear it for Ava Silvestri. A few newcomers to the category today, and we're so happy to have them. Ladies and gentlemen, starting in the number 3 spot on an 813 Yamaha, here is Ty Wolfslayer. In the number 4 spot today on a KTM, she rides 402. Let's hear it one time for Madison Weber. And rounding out our field, shout out to the ladies. We want to see more and more of you lovely ladies coming out here and competing in this category. Starting from the 5th position today on a 108 Husqvarna, here is Dana Rayner. All right, so good luck to our ladies. How cool is it? 5 of them on the starting gate today. Let's keep this class growing. If you're watching this live stream and you're a lady who rides, let this be your goal. And we now turn our attention to the baddest boys on the 250s as we continue on with AHM call-ups. Let's meet your point leader, your defending champion out of Melbourne, Australia. He rides a KTM 250 XCF for FMF RBM KTM Racing. Here is Mason Simmons. Also from Australia, starting in the number 2 spot today, promised him we were going to get his name right. He's on a Husqvarna FC 250. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Sam Pretscherer. Starting in the number 3 spot out of Murrieta, California on a Husqvarna FC 250. Out of Gainslinger Human Performance, here is Cole Zeller. In the number 4 spot, out of Temecula, California, a man who's been tearing it up on the Supercross circuit on a Husqvarna FC 250 out of Three Bros. Hatch Husqvarna, let's hear it for Kai Hello. Starting in the number 5 spot today, a man certainly in the championship hunt, always in the championship discussion. He rides a Kawasaki KX250X out of Hatch Racing Kawasaki. Let's hear it for Colton, the Cowboy Eck. In the number 6 spot today, making the big, daunting step up into the Pro 2 category from the proud Davis Racing family. He rides a 508 gas. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for young Dustin Davis. In the number 7 spot, on the number 41 KTM, very talented young up-and-coming rider. Let's hear it for Noah Gordon. And in the number 8 spot today, this man rides a Kawasaki 454. Let's hear it for Leighton Smell. Starting in the number 9 spot today, he was on a 125 last year, stepped it up to a 250 this year. Number 114 on an orange KTM. Here is Tristan Alvarez. And finally, rounding out our top 10 today in the Pro 2 category on a 251 KTM. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for Jackson Glather. Is this field stacked or what? I've got goosebumps. Well, I hope you guys are ready because now it is time to meet our pro category. And we begin with a man who certainly knows how to win here. He won here last year. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, he's a 2-time Works champion. He is an ISDE gold medalist. He is a West Hare Scramble Pro champion. He is a five-time defending champion. Ladies and gentlemen, out of factory Red Bull KTM, let's hear it for Dante Oliveira. In the number 2 spot today, he is the 2022 NGPC Pro 2 champion, a Works champion. He is the winningest NGPC 250 rider in history. He is Dante's brother. Out of factory Red Bull FMF KTM, here is Mateo Oliveira. And in the number 3 spot today, a 2-time Works 450 winner, former AMA Pro motocross racer, made history last year by securing Beta's first NGPC win. Ladies and gentlemen, from Lincoln, California, on a Beta 480RR out of Liquid Mall Beta Factory Racing, here is Dare DeMartille. In the number 4 spot today, what a season it has been for this man. Out of Utah, he comes in on a Monster Energy SLR Honda CRF 450 RX. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Tyler Lynn. It is now time to meet a 3-time World Enduro champion, an 8-time Italian champion, the 2022 West Hare Scrambles champion. Ladies and gentlemen, taking the world by storm with Mitch Payton's brand new Pro Circuit NGPC team. Let's hear it for Giacomo Redondi. Starting in the number 6 spot today, also on a Mark Samuels Monster Energy SLR Honda. This man is a top 10 450 motocross winner. He is a 2024 Baja 1000 champion. He won here a couple years ago out of Corona, California on a Honda CRF 450. Here is Ryan Surratt. In the number 7 spot, a man who won the 2-stroke nationals here about 1 year ago. Welcome back after a devastating injury. He's poised and focused. He now rides for Simi Valley Cycles Yamaha. Let's hear it for number 27, Justin Heft. Yo. And in the number 8 spot today on a 226, Husqvarna, the always tough Damon Woolslayer. In the number 9 spot, this man rides a bright orange KTM, the always fast, the always tough, number 25, Timothy Barnum. And ladies and gentlemen, rounding out your field in the pro category today, certainly a sentimental favorite by many, part of the high torque family, does so much here. He is a motocross action test pilot. Ladies and gentlemen, he was selling bread on the Midway yesterday. Now he's looking to win this thing on a Yamaha number 171. Let's hear it for Josh Mosman. And our field is set. We welcome everybody else to the gate. Mark, I might need a cold beverage after that one.
You know what? That's some pretty good call-outs right there. I don't know how you do that. That's pretty amazing when you're putting all that stuff together, but it's definitely one of those things to where it gets me excited about calling the race, and I'm not even in the race. So it's definitely fun stuff. But like you said, that field's pretty deep in both the Pro 2 and the Open Pro categories. It's going to be fun to watch. And that's not the only 2 categories we have on the course. There is multiple categories. There's naturally the women that we did call out, but there's an A class of the guys coming out of the amateur ranks kind of into the pro, but not technically the pro ranks. So there's a lot of people. There's plus 25 class. I think our buddy Trevor Hunter is usually out there. I'm not sure how the rules work if he can race his own track. I know that some of the clubs do it a little bit different to where some of their members can't actually race that track. So it's kind of cool. But, man, perfect conditions. You can see the people down below stage. So once the first 2 gates take off, then the new people come up and kind of go into there.
And I believe, Mark, we're getting set for our national anthem. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise at this time for the playing of our national anthem. It's time to go racing. It is a beautiful Southern California day in this wonderful country that allows us the freedoms to enjoy what we love, motorcycles. There is Dante Oliveira warming it up. A couple kicks for him as we're just moments away from taking a look at our starting grids. And as we mentioned, it is stacked here today. Let's take a look at it. Round number 3, Glen Helen Raceway. We got Tyler Lynn, Damon Woolslayer, Justin Heff, Dante Oliveira, Mateo, Ryan, who won here just a few short years ago. Mark, this field is absolutely lit.
Yeah, and Giacomo has been on a tear this weekend. He won both of his classes yesterday, got 2 whole shots. So he's definitely one to watch out for. And Dare DiMartel looked really good in their their practice race yesterday. So it's definitely, there's going to be some people. And then when you have the champ and then Mateo at last round, he was all over his brother. So it's definitely going to be great in the Open Pro class. In the Pro 2 class, it's going to be hard to beat the champion.
Yes, indeed. As we give you a look at the full field, how about young Dustin Davis? I think we're going to hear more from him coming up just a little bit, making the big step up. But all eyes are on Mason Simmons, who comes in with the point lead. Ty Aiello, who I mentioned, doing a great job in the Supercross. Cole Zeller, Justin Patton, Tristan Alvarez, Seth Sedora, Ryder Partridge. They are all here for this huge happening at Glen Helen Raceway.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Dustin can do. I mean, he's kind of coming out of the A-class ranks, and like you said, we're going to catch up with him a little bit more later on. But Colton Ake is coming back from a couple get-offs, and Sam, I'm not even going to try to say his last name because I don't want to butcher it, but Sam's definitely right there. So it's going to be a good fight in there as well. I'm glad I'm not the producer of this show, having to go back and forth between the Pro 2 and the Pro and then the A classes, and then you throw the women in there. So it's going to be fun, that's for sure.
Yes, it will indeed. And look at this, 5 lovely ladies on the starting grid today. That's what we love to see, more competition for everybody. The question is, how do you stop Moto KK Nielsen, because she has been on fire? But we do welcome in Dana Rayner, Ty Wolfslayer, Madison Weber. Got to talk to all 3 of them. They're all very excited, and Ava Silvestri just continues to put her head down and grind.
Yeah, I'm glad to see this class grow, because there is young ladies that are in the amateur divisions looking at these older ladies, looking at going, I want to be there someday.
Yeah, I was talking to Lacey, all of us, about that, and she actually said she's excited to maybe step up. The only downfall is once you go up, you're up, right?
You got to stay
down. So shout out to everybody in 25 plus Junior A as well. And that is the ladder system. That's where you have to make the decision. Hey, do I want to take that daunting step up? But the advantage is you're going to get way more exposure and sponsorship opportunities in the top marquee categories. What a beautiful day for racing. Good Lord has blessed us with some sunshine. It was cold and overcast yesterday, but a much better day today. 2-stroke A. Here's how the field shakes out. We're going to have a ton of motorcycles out there. At one point, I think we're going to have a total of 3 gates, I believe, Mark, maybe 4. We'll see how many we can get. And eventually we see it. We will run into lap traffic as this race progresses. 8 miles, so it'll take quite some time. As you can see, very vast. Look at Mount St. Glen Helen, though. 450 feet all the way up to that American flag. This is definitely horsepower central here. The sweet sound of motorcycles about to fill San Bernardino, California. Let's give you a look at 4-stroke A. A lot of individuals here, too, that may make that step up. I talked to a lot of the people that race these classes, and they all say the same thing. Our goal is to make it to the pros.
Yeah, and this 4-stroke A class is the class that the next generation is coming out of. Harlem Nielsen in this division is one of my test riders. Ian Burke, one of my test riders. So it's definitely nice to see. They're all wanting to follow in the footsteps of Dustin Davis and kind of come up. Lane Lorenzo has been dominating this particular class for the first couple of rounds. We've talked to him and done some stuff with him. But like I said, there's a lot of other people. Harlem's been working his butt off to be able to make that next step. And it all starts here, and it all starts in the hour-and-a-half race to kind of get your feet wet and then move up a little bit. So good luck to all those guys, but we'll be talking about them a little bit today too.
Great drone coverage here, courtesy of Seat Concepts, as you take a look at what gets my vote for the coolest, toughest, grueling start in all of motocross into Talladega Turn. It is about a football field into the high banks. And it is awesome, and we're going to see in just a few moments who gets the whole shot. And I'm sure that is what's on everybody's mind when it comes to how do you stop Dante Oliveira? You got to get out in front and put some real estate between you and that factory KTM, because if Dante gets the whole shot and checks out, that usually means bad day for the rest of the field.
Exactly, and this might just be his Achilles heel when it comes to it. In the past, it has really kind of panned out, but this is one of those things to where the motocross guys are going to have a little bit of a advantage. Giacomo was starting really good off this gate. So was Dare as well. So if they can pull that trigger, Justin Heff, we know he knows how to start here from two-stroke days. And so it's definitely one of those things to where that might just throw him off of his game. It's anything they can do to try to throw him off of his game, to try to make him kind of second guess. Josh Mosman, the MXA managing editor, he might just throw it down and be able to throw it up there for a while, because you get to those ridges first, and that's half the game.
Yeah, Mosman might have more laps here than anybody on the gate. It's going to be interesting to see. Big shout-out to our track owner, Bud Feldkamp, for this amazing historic place. Lori Wilson, Chad Tucker, the whole crew. We get ready to kick off a big year of races here in San Bernardino, California. It is almost time to drop the gate from round number 3 of the NGPC series. Here we go. Who will get the whole shot? Who will get that all-important start? Gate is down. We are off. Keep an eye on that number 1. Dante Oliveira. It's a drag race. Who's going to get the whole shot? Into Talladega turn we go. Who will emerge first? I don't think it's Dante. Take a closer look. It looks like a Honda. We got to get a closer
That looks like
look.
Mateo.
It's Mateo Oliveira. A Kawasaki second. Is that Giacomo Redondi?
Giacomo's second. It looks like the champ is running about third, right in front of Tyler Lynn.
And here comes our Pro 2 start. Speaking of the champ, keep an eye on Mason Simmons. Somebody way out in front. Somebody just hit it perfect with the gas and the clutch. Uh-oh, big move. I see a Husqvarna making a big move around the corner.
That looks like
Kai Aiello, the Supercross star, made 3 night shows here this year, making that work pay off. We'll see right who's on his bumper. And here comes all 5 of our ladies. There's the number 1, a Moto KK, but here comes Ava Silvestri up alongside of her. Up into Glen Helen turn. Give that whole shot. Moto KK Nielsen. We are off. Don't worry, guys. We've got 90 minutes to sort all this out. We'll give you official running order. Man, what a start here.
And this is the one time they're going to go through Talladega this way. The rest of the race, they're going to be coming the other way. So this looks like the Pro or the A class, I believe.
A class is off and running. Nice whole shot there. Seeing a lot of white bikes, a lot of Huskies out in front so far here today. As I think we've got just one more gate drop to go. No, maybe another one. I'm telling you, there's 1,831 riders here this weekend. There's going to be a lot of people out on that track, and you know what that's going to mean? This track's going to change every single lap. Look at this start. Wow, a lot of traffic. 3 wide coming out of Talladega turn. Yamaha rider able to secure the whole shot there.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, big get off. Good. Oh, no. Oh, no. One rider off his bike. Oh, Mark, that is so tough. We see that oftentimes. It is so congested in the start. Let's just hope everything's okay. We do have our safety team standing by. We'll keep you updated as soon as we hear something. But that's the good news when you come here to Glen Helen. You know you're going to get top-notch care. I can see already 3 workers to that racer quickly. And how about, I can tell you from my vantage point, that racer is up on his feet. Great news. Man.
Yeah, and the best part about that is the track crew can see it, and they don't start the next line. I believe this is the final line.
I believe it is as well. Yeah, as we take a look at who gets the whole shot here at Glen Helen. We told you, it's known as the roughest, toughest, baddest track in the land for good reason. This was the section where they had trouble last time. Got to watch one of those phantom ruts can reach out and grab you here at Glen Helen. We've seen that from time to time, even early in the race. Some great racing here, bar to bar with these 2 Yamaha teammates. Kawasaki rider out in front.
Yeah, that looks like Nick Nay's out front. I get to race with him in the 30 class. He had a really good weekend at his home track in Blythe the last round, and looks like he's getting out to a good start and going to try to stay up front like he did in at the last round.
We'll give you the rundown here in just a little bit. Mark, I want to go back to that incident we saw moments ago and have you take me inside the mind of a racer. Everybody's going for the whole shot. Everybody's full throttle. You're nose to tail. You can't really see what's going on in front of you. What do you do in that situation when all of a sudden there's a downed rider in front of you. You're full throttle. There's nowhere to go.
Well, I mean, naturally you want to miss them. You don't want to hit anybody, but you do want to make it to where it is a thing to where you kind of minimize the hit that you're going to get, because like we just saw, sometimes a rider moves out of the way and you don't see it at the last minute. You might hit them and then go over the bars. You don't want to end your race in the first turn, and you don't want anybody else to end their race in the first turn either. So,
all right, well, we'll give you an update on that rider and all things NGPC when we return. Stay with us, guys. Round number 3 of the Rocky Mountain ATV NGPC series is just getting started.
Every generation believes they've invented the best way. With age comes wisdom. We've come to realize that every piece of knowledge is learned, passed down from those generous and patient enough to teach.
Bogging off the bottom. Let's take a look.
Legacy. It's not about leaving something behind to be remembered by. It's realizing that the future lies within the next generation.
Let's call it a night. All right.
The nature of true progress is humbly building something bigger than yourself. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. This is our legacy.
Thanks, fellas.
Business in the front, party in the back. The all-new Kawasaki Ridge.
Welcome back to the legendary and iconic Glen Helen Raceway. Action heating up. It is FMF Presents round number 3 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, hosted by the Prairie Dogs, Jack Corpella and Mark Tilley here with you. Mark, we are off to a rousing and raucous start as we head around pit road for the first time.
Yeah, and that's a section right there that only the pros are going to use because that's a live pit area. It looks like we have Mateo still out front with Giacomo right on his tail. He's going to do, I think, really well here because lots of flat corners, lots of searching for traction, kind of what the World Enduro scene is like. They're sliding around a lot, doing a lot of searching for that traction. So, and he's been on fire. He's got a couple of testing sessions on that new Kawasaki, and he's ready to go. I talked to, I'm actually being able to do a story on that bike for the magazine. So I shot it in the studio over this last week and got to talk to John Brash, the guy who's building the race bikes for the team, and get a little bit of insight on that program and what he's doing. And he's not changing that bike a lot. It's kind of personal preference stuff, and we'll see how it goes. But it's not that far off of stock when it comes to performance. There isn't really anything done internally to the engine. Just kind of cleaning it up, doing some mapping and some pro circuit stuff. Lots of really cool parts on there, but kind of keeping it close to the cuff a little bit on the modifications. But man, he's really excelling this weekend.
I can't wait to see that feature in Dirt Bike Magazine. How about Giacomo Rodani putting some heat on Matteo? He wants the lead, and I got to speak with Bones, the suspension expert out of Pro Circuit, said they have really been hard at work on this machine trying to improve the balance of the bike. They've been changing some of the engine mounts and fine-tuning it the way Mitch Payton and Bones can, and I knew coming into this race Giacomo was going to be a factor because we watched it here just about 6 months ago. You and I, Mark Tilley, we sat here for the Vet Nationals. Giacomo Rodani was one of the fastest riders on the property for that race. He knows how to win at Glen Helen. And as for young Matteo, what a great start for him. Something we're not used to, though. Where is Dante? How far back is Dante? Dante is going to have to roll up his sleeves and get to work to roll in his brother and Giacomo, because right now they're on a different level.
Exactly, and this is the sections we were talking about where they come in, and you don't normally come down Glen Helen's hills like this. You're usually going the other way, and then they're right here. They're going to go into Talladega backwards, and I'll be the first one to attest to that's odd when you're coming into it coming the other way and you can touch your back brake and kind of move around. Sometimes you go through it a little bit slower because you're using that back brake. So, and then they're coming into this section. This is right before the scoring section. We like to call this the sand section. Most of the sand's gone about now, but man, I'm really impressed with Giacomo being able to stay that close to Matteo, and I think we're in for one today.
Well, we come through the Yamaha finish chute. Let's get a look right now at the gap. As you can see, Matteo Oliveira, Giacomo Rodani nose to tail. We'll have to see how far back Dante Oliveira is as they head through the tabletop and kicker section here. I had an opportunity to walk this yesterday. Just amazing how fast this track is. They really pin it. Here's the sweeper section we're used to. And Mark, you probably know better than me, but I don't think they run this one in reverse too often. Normally it's the other way around.
Yeah, they don't. Usually this whole section is ran the other way. You do get back into where they make the left right here and go back up into the canyon that we call. Right here they're running the same way that we always do, but they can they're kind of pre-jumping that and going into that hole right there, and then they come out and make the left and go up onto, they call that Yamaha hill right here, and that hill is a lot steeper than it looks, and then that gets them on one of the ridge. We call that the west ridge, and then what you see in the shot off to the east ridge. But man, with this drone footage, we're gonna get some really cool shots of what we call the ridges of Glen Helen.
That's right. Big thanks goes out to Skaggs Racing, all of our wonderful sponsors that we have here, Seat Concepts, bringing us this tremendous drone coverage as part of Ross Fitz Productions today, NGPC Series. Absolutely loving it. Let us know in the comments if you love NGPC Live. We want to hear from you. Look at the beautiful scenic views here, San Bernardino, California. It's hard to believe we're only 50 miles from Los Angeles, but we are. Not a lot of people out there think of this type of scenery when they think of California, but that's why this is the Mecca of speed, a little hidden oasis, I like to call it.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'm lucky I get to be here all the time. It's kind of my local office when we're doing testing at the magazine. But there's people that come from all around the world to get to race this course and just ride this course. And they only get to see about 20-25% of what Glen Helen has to offer. Where we cut away earlier from the ridge. Now we're back on that ridge. That's just the start of the ridge. The ridge will go all the way down. The 15 freeway is kind of on the other side right there. You can see it in the background. But they'll come off the ridge, come back on the ridge. They drop down into a little bit of a meadow section that's over on the other side, and then they come down a trail that's usually pretty rocky that we call Boy Scout Trail. So that ridge will go down to the left. Now these guys are kind of going off the ridge and then coming back across, and then they go across on the left-hand side. You see some of those riders. That's a pro-only section. So the Prairie Dogs and NGPC all year long, if they can do it, will do a pro-only section. They'll get to run that section on Sunday in their race, kind of practice area, but then they're the only ones that do it. So it's kind of cool, but this opens up. This is some of the stuff that we get to ride on a regular basis when we're testing and doing stuff. But if you do the endurance series here, the 6, the 10, and the 24-hour, you will get to go on a lot of these sections. So there's a lot more that Glen Helen has here, and the more it rains, the more they get to try it.
I'm jealous. I want to try that. I know thanks to you, Mark, you invited me out here one time for Day in the Dirt, and they were like, I was like, where'd Mark go? And they're like, he's on the other section. I'm like, what? I was like, I got to try that someday. There is so much real estate here. And shout out to our drone guys because they tried something new. Normally, they're on top of the tower here at Glen Helen. Instead, Craig Hunter took them all the way on top of the mountain. They love it. They have better range, better views, actually get better service up there. That might explain why none of us have self-service down here in the bottom of the mountain. We'll take it, but absolutely loving the coverage. Of course, this live stream brought to you by Honda as we watch them come through the chute right now and give you a rundown of the order in 25 Junior A. Borg with the lead out there. We'll see Simmons if he can continue to hold his lead in Pro 2, and it won't be long before we see Giacomo Redondi and Matteo Oliveira. And that is the big question. As we've told you in a lot of these broadcasts, with an 8-mile course, we just can't cover every single turn, but we will be able to see in a very short time if Giacomo Redondi was able to get by Matteo, because you could feel the intensity. He knew that he didn't want to park back there too long. I think Giacomo's trying to make a move to the front.
Well, yeah, and we could see it, too, from our vantage point. We're up here in the tower. We can see when they come back out of the back section, kind of over off our peripheral vision, and I think he's got it. I think he's going to be able to kind of pull the trigger and get by him. There's a lot of different kinds of stuff out there. You got rocks, you got downhills, you got uphills, you got elevation changes all around this track. Then you kind of go over into what we used to call the REM track, and then you come back over onto the national track. So you got to be a well-rounded rider. All of these guys are well-rounded riders. It's just who's, in some sections, who's willing to put it out there a little bit more than what the other guy does. And, Giacomo can play those games and, use Matteo as a breaking point or that kind of stuff. So it's going to be good. And they look to see, like, they were out a little bit on third place. So I know that in our timing and scoring, we have Giacomo out front, but I think that Matteo was still out in front of him when they left our vantage point. But the racing is shaping up. It's going to be awesome.
It is awesome. It's a heck of a show. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're thrilled to be here. Again, he's Mark Tilley. You can check him out on Dirt Bike Magazine YouTube. My name's Jack Rapella. You can check me out on Racing Jack YouTube. And we're so happy that you're joining us live on the NGPC channel, this growing platform. Seems like we just started this a while ago, and we got to give our team here such a round of applause because they've gotten better with this coverage. At first, it sounded impossible. How are you going to cover these races with 8, 9, 10-mile courses? But they have done a fantastic job.
Yeah, no, and the drone footage is what brings it into everybody's living room, and it's fun to see. It's great to see. I mean, I wish I had this back before I had to wait for Wednesday for Cycle News to come out and that kind of stuff. But the drone footage is amazing. Our audio guys are great. All the people that are working behind the scenes, it's great to work. And now we're going back to the ridges. So this is the ridge that I don't think that they're running. This is what we call the East Ridge. We weren't able to get water and that kind of stuff up there, so Prairie Dogs decided not to run that ridge. But that's you're looking back. What you're seeing off in the distance is the Glen Helen Pavilion. They have concerts there. I think they had the Renaissance Pleasure Fair there and all that kind of stuff. So lots of stuff, and it looks like they're coming back into view right now, and Matteo still...
Oh, no, Matteo's down. Matteo makes a mistake. Giacomo Redondi gets around, and we got a new leader. Say hello to your Pro Circuit Kawasaki front runner, Giacomo Redondi. Dante Oliveira watched it right in front of him. We'll see if Matteo can get it back together. Certainly one of the toughest riders out there. I was just talking with his team and his mechanic, the man they call Jay-Z, Josh Zoplet, and he was just speaking to Matteo's toughness. He said 2 weeks ago he injured his hand, and Matteo stayed out for another 2 hours and won the race. They don't come any tougher than Matteo Oliveira, but a rare mistake there. Mark, what did you see? Was it another one of those Glen Helen ruts that snuck up on him?
You know what? On that particular turn, it kind of falls away. And it's not used to being run like that. That's on the side of the hip jump. So you're coming up, and then it drops away from you. So I think he just kind of washed the front end, and we got to see it all right there with this great coverage we were just talking about. So now we were wondering where the champ was, and the champ is back in the picture with right there when it happens to Matteo. Dante is able to kind of capitalize on it and move into second, and then I think that was Tyler Lynn that got by. Oh no, Matteo got back by him. It looks like right now as they're coming in the backside of what we call REM. Now they're jumping over that's Mount Whitney in the back, and there's a very kind of famous shot of Josh Grant and Kevin Windham laying it flat, going the other way, and we'll see them go back the other way here as soon as they go through the bottom part of this section. Then they'll go back the other way, but that's like coming to the top of a hill, fourth gear pinned, and then getting to the top of the hill and just jumping across the top. I'm not about to do that.
I will take this seat, thank you, but we have got a thrilling show, ladies and gentlemen. It is Giacomo Redondi's lead, but he's got a long way to go, buddy. He's got another 69 minutes to try to hold that thing with three of the baddest riders right behind him. Right now, though, Giacomo looks fast, and he looks poised.
Well, and look how he just came out of that turn. How he was just kind of riding around, using throttle control, and just kind of getting that Kawasaki to hook up, that Pro Circuit suspension, getting down to those Dunlop tires, but just getting them to hook up and getting it just to kind of slide around. He is faster than those guys in sections like that. And that, I think, goes back to his World Enduro kind of tutelage and his major championships there, because that's what they're doing. They're riding around more on DOT-approved tires, and they don't have the motocross-style tires that they're on right now. So he's a little bit better with that throttle control. So that's going back over Mount Whitney the other way. It's only about 30 feet once you get to the top of that, but you're already a few stories up, and then you're going even higher. And it's definitely intimidating.
Yes, it is. As it looks like Tyler Lynn, I believe. Oh, Tyler Lynn! I was going to say he just got around Matteo. Was that Tyler Lynn who laid it down? I think it was Tyler Lynn. So Matteo will get back in the number 3 spot. I believe from this vantage point it's Giacomo, Dante, Matteo, and there is Tyler Lynn, who battled hard. We were watching him just moments ago, but is that a sign of things to come here for the next 67 minutes? Is this track going to be a little treacherous, a little deceiving, a little rougher than expected? Are we going to see a few of these guys laying it down around some of these corners?
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of nice. They're trying. They're pushing really hard earlier in the race than they maybe normally would. So they're not getting comfortable and set into a pace. These guys are going after it and going after it early. So, and this is another where Giacomo's kind of coming right here, going back up Mount St. Helens the opposite way. Usually we're coming down the other way. Like I said, it brings a different aspect to the race. And then they got to come into this in more flat corners. You don't see a bunch of ruts developed. And
whoa, Mark, you could speak to this. That Giacomo is just picture perfect technique. You could film him and coach a clinic on it, but I saw some awkward body position there. What's that telling us about this track?
Well, and it might be what it's telling us about who's behind him now. He's when he's up there with Mateo, it's not the pressure of the champ on you. Now there's the pressure. He knows he's there, and so he might be making some little mistakes there. But this track has great moisture in it, so it's gonna get rough. And these are only the first couple laps for these guys.
It is FMF presents round number 3 of the NGPC series, hosted by the Prairie Dogs. Thank you guys so much. Great battle here for the lead. Giacomo Redondi is Pro Circuit Kawasaki out front. The 5-time defending champion Dante Oliveira in hot pursuit of him. His brother Mateo trying to close in the gap. But look at this battle, and you are right, Mark. Giacomo is certainly not one to back down. He's certainly not one to get rattled. We saw him put in an exceptional performance here, time in and time out at Glen Helen. But when you've got the 5-time defending champion breathing down your neck, what are you telling yourself inside that helmet right now to remain calm?
There's not very much you can tell yourself besides go as fast as you possibly can. And I know Giacomo's going to do that. He's going to try to lay down some really fast laps. He's going to try to get some distance between him and the champ. But you know what? It looks like Dante is all over him. And as they went up Yamaha Hill to go into the back, it looked like that there's going to be some action when they get to those ridges. Right now we're looking at the Pro 2 class. And this is, I believe that's Kai coming through the scoring chute with Zeller right on his rear fender. Both Husky riders putting it down.
Cole Zeller trying to get off the Schneid had a bad experience last race. The subframe came off of that Husqvarna, something that they were very surprised about. They were running second all day. That caused them to finish third in Blight. They were able to rectify the problem, but Cole Zeller off to an amazing start this year as he tries to run down Mason Simmons in the point series. And as for Kai Aiello, I mean, how about stepping up to Supercross? 3 night shows he's made so far on the West Series, and I talked to him pre-race, and he said racing with that caliber of guys, that factory-level racing competitor out there in the Supercross Series, is really pushing him to new heights.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a testament to the skill level that these guys have. I mean, they're not just out there going a million miles an hour with stabilizers and big tanks. They can go out and they can race with some of the best guys in a completely different discipline. You know, those guys that are able to do that and able to go back and forth. Kai with his program, like, that's impressive. Like, and you definitely have to kind of nod your hat to those guys. And I know it would be really hard for the average guy to do it. Just go from off-road to motocross. So it looks like still right now those guys are up on the ridge. We're watching the Pro 2 guys, but it still shows us that Redondi is in front of Oliveira. We'll see when they come back out of the back, but Kai and Cole Zeller up there. It looks like there's some guys hot on their tail. That looks like Dustin Davis up on the ridge. Dustin spent a lot of time here as well with his dad, but I remember Dustin would come here and ride, Tuesdays, Thursdays practice, and then come out here and race on the weekend as well.
Spoke to his legendary father yesterday, and he was just very, very proud of him. And in fact, why don't we take you to that, talking about the legendary Davis family and their big step up. Caught up with him yesterday. Let's take you to Dustin Davis. You hear me talk about the ladder system here in the NGPC, and what I mean by that is a pathway forward for racers. We see a lot of youth out here. I'm talking 4, 5, 6 years old, all the way on up. And we love it when a racer makes that daunting step from the A class to the Pro class. Such is the case for the family you see next to me, Dustin Davis, his legendary father, Ty. Dustin, at only 16 years of age, you have taken a huge step up, and you're doing great this year. An 8th, a 6th, or was it a 5th? Actually, it was a 5th. Yeah. So congratulations. What's this been like, stepping up into the Pro 2 category from A?
It's definitely a big difference, a big change, and, I'm still racing against the same guys like Noah Gordon because he moved up as well, but there's a lot more faster guys, and Mason's riding good, and a lot of people are riding good, and so it's definitely a tough battle. But we line up at every race just trying to be better.
Do you feel like that step up is helping you improve? Is it pushing you? Was it the right call? We see sometimes guys like to stay down. We know you do a lot of winning down there, but you take that daunting step up and you get pushed. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I'd say so because, I won a few races, but me and Noah had a pretty good battle going every round, and so it was fun. We pushed each other, but now in the Pro 2, and it is a big step and a big change, and I think it's good. It's making me a better rider, and I'm improving, so it's what it is, and just got to take it for what it is.
And one big advantage we see is when racers come from a family of racing. We know that Dustin is second generation. Ty, congratulations on all the success. What's the best advice you have given your son, and how would you evaluate his transition and move up here?
Well, his transition moving up is good. You know, you always want to chase the carrot, and I see a lot of people hold their kids back too long, and then they get used to that speed. So you always want to, it's like a wave. You want to stay on that wave as long as possible, and you just keep chasing that carrot. And I think his step up was perfect. You know, him and Noah were dominating the A class last year, so holding them back would be kind of useless. And so it was time to move up, you know, and he's only 16. He has a lot to learn. The pro class is a serious class this year, and so, you know, he's getting faster and faster. And, you know, our goal is top 5 this year, and maybe get a couple podiums would be, you know, what you could ask for. I mean, like I said, he's racing against guys that are a lot bigger, and they've been riding this class for a couple of years now, you know. And I told him last year, you know, I enjoyed this year because winning is great. It says next year it's not you're not going to see that podium for a while, you know. But he made good bonuses last year. Everything was great. So, but you know, it's like a little lull. I was just talking to Mason. We were talking about it, and yeah, it eventually come. You know, everyone starts going. You know, Mason will go 450 next year, and so. But I'm proud of him. He couldn't. You know, his lap times are right there. You know, it's just going to be some more confidence and you know, a little bit of mental toughness, and he'll be right there.
Excellent. Last question for you. If you look back throughout your career, do you remember a point where you made that step up and what it was like for you when you really took that leap?
Yeah, and back then I was racing motocross. You know, I was riding the Transcal series and riding the intermediate class, and I was battling with like Willie Surratt, guys like that, and I won both the 125 and 250 intermediate class, and so the next year went to pro, and yeah, it was I remember that big leap. You know, it was tough. You know, you had all the top guys. You had Lachine, you had Wardy, you had Johnson. I mean, it was mentally, it was a handful to deal with mentally, being a young kid to jump into that class. So this is a little bit easier because you don't have names like that, you know, in the motor world. But they are still really, you know, top names here, and they go fast. You know, the Dante and Matteo. You know, they're the shit. So yeah.
Dustin, given the fact that your father has been there, done that, does that give you a lot of confidence, and is he able to give you a lot of sound advice in this situation?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, obviously I haven't been through it, so I'm not 100% sure what to expect, but he does guide me and tell me that it's going to be tough and that I'm going to have to work for it. So I'd say that helps a lot.
Well, great job, guys. Dustin Davis taking the big step up, already got an 8th and a 5th. We'll see how he does here at Glen Helen. Yes, what an advantage to have a legendary off-road racing father like Ty Davis, who is pushing his son. A lot has happened here since we have stepped away and listened to that interview. Mark, let's update everybody. I believe it's still Giacomo, Dante, Matteo. Unfortunately, another tie. Tyler Lynn, we do believe, went down again.
Yeah, and you can see on screen right now, we have Giacomo and Dante going at it.
Oh, there comes Dante.
They're all over each other. So, and this is where, like I said, with throttle control and what Giacomo's doing, he's got a little bit better throttle control in this stop. It's like they come to the end here, and this is a complete flat corner, and it's really hard packed right here. So we're going to see kind of as throttle control, see if maybe Dante has found a weak link for him. This is flat out horsepower on these motorcycles.
Gotta love it.
So right here you'll see coming into it, he kind of doesn't slide around, and getting as much power as he can to the ground. He kind of pulls out a little bit, but the Dante's going to definitely kind of go to school on that and see if he can do a little bit of something.
What a tremendous battle. Dante looking inside. Can he get around?
Oh, he
Dante
did.
Oliveira, your 5-time champion, takes the lead. Giacomo fights back on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki. We're 2 wide racing here at Glen Helen. 56 minutes in to round 3. Giacomo not ready to relinquish that lead, but Dante puts a little real estate between him and that Pro Circuit Kawasaki. This could be bad news for the rest of the field as Dante seems to have another gear.
Kind of disappointed in Giacomo on that one. He made that one a little bit too easy for Dante. We could have kind of telegraphed that one, but he just went to the inside, saw an opening, and made it happen. Now we're going to see if Giacomo could come back and maybe pass the champ back of somebody that I think only his brother has been able to do all year.
And speaking of his brother, we just saw him to the left of your screen moments ago. He's not too far back as well. Could Giacomo be potentially fading here? Maybe did all that anxiety, did leading this race for the first 35 minutes take a toll on the man from Italy?
Well, and that could be it. That could be one of those things to where when you're running up front and it's a little bit different pace, especially off-road, you kind of tend to hold your breath and arms pump up. There's all kinds of stuff that can come into there. I mean, having the champ behind you is definitely pressure when it comes to that. So he might be able to kind of collect his thoughts and come back and make a charge. If nothing else, this is the best we've seen Giacomo ride since he won last year, I think the last round at Havasu. So we'll see what he's got.
There is your new leader. He's got a perfect season going thus far. Won the opener in Delano, won in Blythe. And here's what could be bad news for the rest of the field. I talked to, isn't that cool? That is cool. That is by design. I watched him and Dare. They actually catch air around that corner and like kind of scrub it and turn in the air. What unbelievable talent. It's like one of my motocross friends say, his hoops don't even touch the ground.
Exactly.
It's like he's
well, and that's a big wall right there, and they're coming down at an off-camber angle and jumping onto the wall and then riding it down. Like, there's so much that went on there. If we had slow motion, it'd be cool to see. But just like some of the top professional guys on the national and Supercross circuit, there's so much going on. These guys are so talented that you got to slow them down to be able to really appreciate it.
Giacomo closing that gap. Here comes Matteo. But let me get back to telling you why this could be bad news for the rest of the field, because what do you do if you're Dante Oliveira and you're a 5-time defending champion? What are you working on? Well, Bobby Dawson told me for the first time in a long time, we've been getting a little bit of rest. And you know, hey, 5-time defending champion, that might be what he needs more than anything else. A well-rested, healthy Dante is a dangerous one. Remember last year at the Washougal Pro National, he collided with Malcolm Stewart, broke his collarbone. Because of that, he raced injured for much of 2024, but now Dante is feeling good, right on top of his game. Very healthy, very poised and focused. And we'll see if this man, Tyler Lynn, who's already gone down twice today, can mount a comeback and get back up to where our leaders are.
Yeah, and he's making that SLR Honda look really, really good. I know that Mark Samuels and the SLR crew have lots of stuff going on. I believe I saw him post some stuff about being at Daytona last night with some future guys, and I know that they have some West Coast riders in the 250 class. So Tyler Lynn out there, we'll have to see where our buddy Ryan Surratt. I think Surratt's running it well. It shows us right on the screen that they're running around. He's in 5th, so he'll be lurking around there a little bit later in the race. But looks like what the running order we got right now is Dante, Giacomo, Matteo, Tyler Lynn, Ryan Surratt, and Dare D. Martel. Justin Hepp running a strong 7th. Durst in 8th. Barnum in 9th, and I forget to see who was in 10th. But in the Pro 2 class, we got the champ out front with Mason Simmons. Kyle Aiello is in 2nd. Cole Zeller in 3rd. Sam, and I won't butcher his name, but Sam's in 4th, and Colton Eck running out the top 5 with the man you just talked to, Dustin Davis, in 6th. Schmale is actually the son of Lance Schmale, and somebody was telling me they saw Lance walking around here yesterday, giving his son some pointers. So see what Leighton has to do here later on in the motos. But right now we're watching Kai Aiello and Cole Zeller battle it out. It looks like Mason is out in front of those guys right before they go up Yamaha and get back on the ridges here.
Another battle, too. Ava Silvestri only 2 seconds behind Moto KK. Shout out to Ava. She went back east, South Carolina, ran a GNCC, did well. Unfortunately, blew up her bike, but Ava has really taken an interest in the GNCC series. She says she wants to spend a lot more time back east next year and make that her primary focus. But as we talked about, different forms of racing, versatility, seems to be helping Ava right here because, boy, she is on Moto KK's back tire.
Yeah, and she's been looking for this. She's been looking to try to stay close to her and see what she can pick up and see if she can get faster. And I know that it is a thing for most of the people at that last GNCC blew up their bikes. I mean, even some of the top guys that have been doing this for a long time, and I believe that was the first time in the history that a 250 rider won the overall physically. And I think we even had multiple 250s from the Red Bear Rocky Mountain Kawasaki team. So great to see lots of stuff happening. So we'll see what she can do, and if she can stay close, maybe pressure the champ and make her make some mistakes.
About 50 minutes gone here, and FMF presents round number 3 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series from Glen Helen Raceway, hosted by the Prairie Dogs MC. Thanks again to the Prairie Dogs Club. They've done a fantastic job. Little factoid for you. Mitch Payton, a member of the Prairie Dogs. They're very, very proud about that. Mitch Payton, a pro circuit. And, you know, we couldn't put on these races without these clubs. They do so much, so hard at work. And we couldn't put on these races without our great sponsors. So, again, we want to thank the official Livestream sponsor, Honda. Thank you guys so much. Premier sponsor, Precision Concepts, Bob Bell and the boys out there on the Midway. Beta, the official motorcycle of NGPC. Don't miss your opportunity to try to win that 2025 Beta 450 RX. They are raffling it off. You can enter here on site at one of these races or go to the NGPC website. AHM, Seat Concepts, Skaggs Racing, all the people making it happen for us. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, and as you saw some of those drone shots going into that single track stuff back that a lot of people don't know that Glen Helen has, but great drone footage. I believe we're looking at now we're back on the ridge. This is what we call the ridge. They'll work their way all the way down. They're making a left right now, and this is major elevation changes as they drop down, and this drops down into what we call the meadow. As you can see, lots of green down in that area. They'll kind of work their way across and kind of come out right in here, and then they'll drop into a section that we call Boy Scout. And Boy Scout is a little gnarly. Like the Prairie Dogs crew went up there and made it actually rideable, but it's rocks. Like you can see, and that's not just flat. You're coming down a pretty steep downhill as they work their way down, and then they'll drop into the backside of the Glen Helen Amphitheater. But all that is kind of sheer rock and then busted up rocks. Sometimes there's water running down through there, and you get kind of into the bottom. We do a lot of off-road testing in these areas, but then they kind of come out, and this is something that they don't normally do right here. That's right along the pavilion, and then they'll drop down and then come back up and go right back across on the pavilion. And then so we're just seeing that kind of single track stuff, and then we go back to Tyler Lynn, and I believe that's Ava Silvestri. So that maybe Ava might have gotten by Michaela.
Wow.
So that wasn't Tyler, that was Michaela. So Ava has found another gear here, and she's been doing everything to try to get to this point. So she's putting it to Michaela.
Man, that would certainly be special. Moto KK has dominated this series, but, Ava has tried. I love it, too. You always give her pep talks on the podium. Before you go to her, say, don't be negative, don't be negative. Sometimes a very strict competitor, they say true competitors are just insatiable. It's hard to please them. And I think unless she wins this thing, she's not going to be happy. But maybe today is what she will get what she's looking for.
I can't wait. If she wins this thing, she's going to be smiling from ear to ear.
You think? She might say she's
I hope
slow.
so. I hope so. She deserves it. She puts in a lot of work, and just trying to get her to be up on herself and not too down on herself, and kind of appreciate this, because sometimes you don't know when this stuff is going to go away. It can go away tomorrow. So it looked like we just saw coming to the shot, Giacomo Redondi is still all over Dante, and then Matteo is kind of lurking around in the back as well. But this is high above what we call the REM track here, showing a little bit of homage to Frank and Myra and the whole REM crew. But we saw Giacomo come in. This is following, I believe this is the A-class riders. But Giacomo was able to stay close to Dante, which nobody else on the circuit besides Matteo has been able to stay that close to Dante for that long.
Action continues to heat up here, guys, as we see if Giacomo Redondi has anything for Dante Oliveira. Talking to the mechanics, talking to Bobby Dawson, he says his goal is to bring his team in for a pit stop around 50 to 55 minutes. He said he doesn't care what the other teams are doing. That is always the set plan for them. So we're about 15 minutes or so away from that. And then the goal for them, I asked him, what's your fastest pit stop? He said, we aim to be out of there in 4 to 8 seconds. And that is 2 gallons of fuel in the bike, new pair of goggles, any adjustments needed, and off. And there is Dante Oliveira. Boy, that looks like a nice, comfortable lead. Giacomo Redondi, not too far back, though. You wonder if there's some gamesmanship, some strategy. Maybe Giacomo realizes sometimes, and you could probably speak to this, Mark, too. Let's say he did go out too fast. Let's say he did expend too much energy. Right now, he can kind of just settle into a comfortable groove and realize he's still got 44 minutes to go. Kind of like that old cliche they always tell you in NASCAR, right? You just want to be in position to have a chance at the end. You can't win it right now. You can't win it with 43 minutes left to go.
Well, and I mean, Giacomo's a professional. He's won championships before, so he knows what to do. He definitely can kind of look at it and go, okay, hey, I'm going to study his lines. I'm going to study what he's doing, and then I'm going to come back and come back strong. And so it's definitely one of those things to where he can, and it looks like he is. He's going to school. He's seeing where he's making up time and going from there. So it's definitely one of those things to where he can come back strong, and the closer he stays to him, or the longer he stays close to him, the better it is for him.
And look at this, closing in, ladies and gentlemen, Giacomo Redondi. He must hear us talking about him up there on Mount St. Glen Helen, because he has tightened it up. He's on the back tire of Dante Oliveira. A role reversal. Now the heat being applied to the champion. What a great battle we're witnessing. And I got to say, first 3 rounds of this series, we have seen sensational racing. We've seen a few rounds last year that is apt to happen where the leader just takes off and that is it. Game over. But not this year. We have seen some great battles, and it's more of the same here at Glen Helen. Mark, to your point earlier on about being fast in certain sections, it looks like Dante seems to excel over in these straightaways. It looks like maybe that KTM just a little bit more dialed. As Dante out there running his, let me check my notes to tell you exactly. I think he's running the Dunlop MX-34 today is what they went with. Very popular.
That's what was on Redondi's bike when I shot it in the studio. But yeah, the MX-34, I ran that. These guys are definitely running Dunlop Mooses as well. Lots of guys out there on the new tech Nitro Moose. So yeah, these guys are running foam. When I say mooses, they're running foam moose inserts that they don't have air in them. So they don't have to worry about any kind of flats or anything like that. If they have a wheel problem, it's usually not because the air's gone, because they don't start with any air. It's usually a wheel gone. So these guys are hitting lots of stuff that will rip things off of motorcycles, that's for sure.
Dante getting a little loose around that corner. This is where we zig and zag. This is where we see strengths and weaknesses. From my vantage point, it seems like Dante's a little bit better on the wide open stuff, but this is where Giacomo seems to close in on more of the moto stuff. Oh, my goodness, that's what you got to love. It will test a rider. And then, of course, you have to check up coming into that chute, and look at how that tightens up the gap. Giacomo Redondi out of Pro Circuit Kawasaki, right on the back fender of the 5-time defending champion Dante Oliveira with 40 minutes gone in this race.
Well, and think about this too, Jack. Nobody besides Dante's training partner, his brother, has really put this kind of pressure on the champion, in the last 5 years. So you kind of look at that and go, Giacomo's doing something that nobody's been able to do. And he's been doing it for a couple laps now. So I know if it was me, I would be in the back of my head of going, okay, what's going to break this guy? This guy I need to get some distance. And the longer the longer he can stay close to him.
Oh no!
Well, the longer
almost
Giacomo,
gave the announcer's jinx right there.
Yeah, the longer Giacomo can stay close to him, the better it is for not only Giacomo's headspace, but it's going to weigh on Dante a little bit as well.
Ooh, something I want to emphasize, too, if you're watching on your device, watching at home. As I said, I had the opportunity to walk out there yesterday, and sometimes I love our coverage, but sometimes it just doesn't pick up how fast these individuals are going. A lot of times, fifth gear, pinned, and right there, Giacomo was just giving it everything it had and got cross-rutted, and we've seen it happen. Look, we're already running up on lap traffic, and we talked about it before. Very unlike pro motocross and supercross, you can't flag this entire 8-mile course, so there's no blue flags out there. You're just relying on these lap riders here in the fast bikes coming through and knowing they're not racing for position. Because right now, as you see, Giacomo losing a little time right there as that rider gives way.
Yeah. And when they get into the single track sections that these great drone shots will show us, kind of right here, if they come across a lap rider who's going substantially slower, it can change the course of a kind of just like what we see in Supercross, somebody not doing a section. But imagine they come across a lap rider in the start of that's going 15% slower than they are. That's going to bring it out a little bit. So there's a lot of stuff that can hurt you and it can help you at the same time. If Dante was to come up on a lap rider and it slows him down, then Giacomo can pull back up. If they get in Giacomo's way, then it can let Dante pull out a little bit. So
Giacomo closing that gap, and I got to say, we have not seen Matteo in the shot at all. So Giacomo and Dante have really left the rest of the field. As we take a look at this battle, is this Zeller and Aiello?
Yeah, and it looks like Zeller got around Kai.
Wow. Great battle. As I said, Cole Zeller lost a subframe in Blythe last round, still finished on the podium. Very, very impressive season for him.
Well, and we got a little bit of a special delivery at the announcers. I know you're smelling that because you can't not smell it. And I don't know if you've had a chance to try out Smash Burger. Smash Burger is my youngest, Austin. Every time he comes to Glen Helen, he wants to know if Smash Burger is going to be here. And they brought by, it's Miguel and Amy, and they brought by a Smash Burger that if you eat this, it's going to ruin you to eat any other hamburger out there.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that for a second.
And then Amy comes up with a fun fact of the day, and it's I'm lucky enough to where she gives me the credit for it and calls it the Tilly fun fact. But it's pretty cool fun facts to go out there. So at some point in time, you're going to try this, and then you're going to be ruined.
I just think our very talented and astute chief audio engineer, Kelly McGuire, is hoping you don't start devouring a smash burger right now while you're talking. I think it was looking at you. That might not be the best thing for our announcing efforts here. As we continue on, guys, we still got a lot of racing left to go. Stay with us, the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC Series. We'll be back right after this. Beautiful day for racing here at Glen Helen and San Bernardino, California continues as FMF presents round number 3 of the NGPC Series hosted by the Prairie Dogs. A big shout out to them. We're witnessing some great racing. About a half an hour left to go. Let's see if we can catch up with our leaders, Jack Rappella and Mark Tilley here with you. Anything happen over the break other than Mark Tilley absolutely devouring the smash burger?
Well, right there's Harlem Nelson going after on his KTM right there. I did see the first thing that we were coming back in is Michaela was able to get back around Ava, so maybe she found some speed right there. They were coming into the scoring booth, but it looks like Dante's still out front. But like we said, Giacomo's still staying close, so there is some pressure there, and pressure that we haven't seen before. So that's a couple seconds. It looks like on screen it's a little bit more than that. But so there is Michaela, and I believe she was able to get back around Ava, but Ava's right there. So maybe a little mistake in the back for Ava, but still right there. Again, nobody's been able to stay this close to the champ for a really long time. So the women's pro division mimicking the open pro division right now.
Moto KK coming up on some traffic. We'll see if Ava can keep her close. Big shout out to Moto KK's father as well, a Corona police officer here. Raced yesterday, so it's nice to see Dad out here doing a great job. And big shout out to that entire team. We'll see if Mark Samuels makes it back. I know he was in Daytona, the leader of Slam Life Racing. They worked so hard over there. Juan Esporo and Carlos Estrada, the two mechanics, they're always busy, always washing bikes, always wrenching on bikes. And you walk by that SLR trailer at Mark, and those bikes are just perfect.
Well,
they're always prepped.
It's kind of interesting, too, because Mark has so much confidence in those guys and so much stuff in those guys that he feels like he can go on the other side of the United States and do something different and make the team better. So it's definitely, and it looks like we're seeing some people come in for pit stops. We'll see if the top guys are coming in. But back to the SLR crew, the two guys that are here all the time doing all that work. They do a great job, and it frees Mark up to do other stuff. Here come Dante and Giacomo coming into the pit. We'll see if this is. Looks like Giacomo might be coming into a pit.
I think they're waving him in.
Yep.
They're waving him in. They're both coming in. Giacomo Redondi and Dante Oliveira, and here we go. NGPC's version of a NASCAR pit stop. The IMS quick dump takes 2 gallons of fuel in for Dante. That was a flawless Boffo performance. Giacomo not far behind. These riders on top of their game. These pit crews on top of their game.
Yeah.
They now have the fuel to go the distance. It looks like they both had identical pit stops. The margin's about the same.
They didn't lose any time. I mean, the Kawasaki guys might be a little bit newer at this, but they're definitely taking notes and taking names because they did almost, like you said, identical lap pit times. So we'll see if they can bring it out. And now it's all in Giacomo's hands. Can he put that pressure on the champ and make it happen?
30 minutes to go, and we will see if Dante Oliveira can win his second consecutive race at Glen Helen, his third consecutive race here of this season, trying to stay perfect, 3 for 3, but he has got a Pro Circuit Kawasaki on his tail, the ever-improving Giacomo Redondi. It's been really fulfilling and interesting to see the strides that team made as well, too. Listening to Giacomo talk to Bones, who, gosh, Bones has been in this industry, Mark, for how many years? The people that don't know Bones Bacon out there, just decades and decades of experience. So listening to a young rider give feedback to Bones and then Bones tweaking on the bike and talking about the things they were going to do back in the shop, it was very, very interesting.
Yeah, and Bones is retired. Like he retired from all of this racing stuff. He's a big part of the Pro Circuit Kawasaki professional supercross and outdoor national race team. I've had a lot of test days and long test days here with Bones. We get the 5 o'clock setting to where it's like, oh no, that's great. I just want to go home. So Bones definitely one of those guys that wants the best. And then Luke is the guy that's running the suspension department full time now at Pro Circuit with Camila and all the people that she has working with her and Schneike down there, all of the guys at Pro Circuit. It's a team effort for sure, and they put the best that they can out there. But it's showing through because this new team is making strides and coming into right in front of us. But man, Giacomo has been all over Dante.
Yes, here it is right now. Your leader's coming into view. 5-time champion Dante Oliveira out in front, but this is the lap traffic we talked about. No blue flag waving. That rider got the message. There's a battle. You're not in it, but look at how Giacomo has closed in. I do believe Giacomo has an advantage in this section. If he's going to make up time, this is where he's going to do it. He always seems to close in on Dante right here, headed for that Yamaha finish line shoot.
Yeah, and he does every lap, it seems like, in like I was saying, in these sections where there's needs more throttle control, he is, and that looks like Tyler Lynn. Tyler and Mateo aren't that far behind.
No, Tyler has done a great job, considering he's gone down twice, to still be in the conversation to win this thing, to still be up there with the leaders is very, very impressive because, look, we still got 28 minutes to go. Anything can happen. And we've seen a lot of these corners get slippery, rutted.
Well, the other thing we could, not to cut you off there, Jack, but the other thing that we can do is, did they pit? We know that the other guys did pit, so not sure. Maybe Tyler Lynn, maybe Mateo, maybe they didn't pit. Maybe they were able to kind of come up close. So it's definitely something to think about.
Tyler Lynn out of SLR Honda making his way up through the pack, trying to overcome those 2 falls earlier on. We had a chance to talk to Tyler yesterday. Let's see what he had to say. When you get off to the best start of your career, you certainly deserve an interview. Congratulations to SLR Honda's Tyler Lynn. Tyler, how you doing it this year? A 4th and a 3rd. You are red hot, my friend.
Yeah, had an awesome off season. We're on a new bike. The new 25 Honda is really good. You know, we've been putting in a lot of work, and man, to start the year out like this has been awesome. You know, I struggled last year with the start of the year, the NGPC schedule especially. So to come out like this is super good.
Is there one thing in particular you can point to over the offseason that you did that's different from years past that has you doing so well here in 2025?
I think the biggest thing is just maturity. I'm coming into the season with just more of a level head. You know, if I get a bad start or something happens to me, you know, I don't let it affect me as much. I'm coming in just more confident and, you know that the work that I'm doing is, you know, other people aren't doing it, and it makes me a better racer.
You know what's so cool is this team, SLR, such a powerhouse, and we know you got a lot of resources over here, a lot of great mechanics. What's it like been working with everybody in Mark Samuel's crew over here?
Yeah, the whole team's awesome. Obviously, Mark, you know, putting together this whole program is, you know, unreal. You know, it's the best, I think, you know, and then the mechanics, they work day in, day out, you know, all week, you know, getting us the best bikes, the best equipment to run these hour-and-a-half races. And, you know, I've yet to have any bike problems on my Honda in the last year and a half that I've been with them, so it's been super good.
And finally, what I've noticed is this team and a lot of these other teams are mainly comprised of local California racers. You're from Utah. How did you get hooked up with this team from Utah?
Man, yeah, that's kind of a long story, but I started racing the National Hare and Hounds when I was 15. And started racing the Pro 250 class soon after that and won a championship, and then just started getting the attention of other teams. I was formerly on Purvine Racing, and then I moved from Purvine Racing to the Chaparral Kawasaki team that's you know, shut down just a couple years ago, and then that's when I got on these guys. It was just after that, you know, so I've just slowly worked my way up the ranks, and, you know, just good results, championships, and, you know, just being a good person helps me get to this point.
Amen. Well, continue with that, guys, because he's moving his way up the ranks, and his results are getting better each and every time out. Wish him good luck. Tyler Lynn here in 2025. Yeah, Tyler Lynn having a great run, off to a hot start. He's been down twice, and unfortunately the rider that we just saw moments ago on the right of your screen going down, and that is a hallmark of Glen Helen. It will get tougher throughout the day. A lot of ruts out there. This place is getting chewed up. This place is getting rough.
Well, and here we come back to the battle between Dante and Giacomo. I believe they're on top of the ridges coming down into the meadow area. And again, these great drone shots don't show us the elevation changes, but this is right before they go down into the trail section that we call Boy Scout. A lot of times we will run that whole ridge line, but again, they're making it to where they're a lot of different stuff. So right here, it looks like Giacomo does close up on him. He's got, oh wow, that was a really good line by Dante. So avoiding some of the lapped riders in that area, but man, Dante, that one line got him a gap, but it looks like Giacomo's able to close it right back up. Again, that's a lot of rocks and a lot of sheer rocks coming down there. There is a little bit of moisture when it comes to running water sometimes coming down there. So, and then this goes back to the front track, and that's Tristan Alvarez, and I believe that's going to be the top 450A rider, Curcio. But this is down on the bottom, and you get to see two completely different types of courses of what Glen Helen has to offer.
Yeah, Tristan Alvarez, great to see him out there. He's off to a wonderful start this year. Loving the 250. Shout out to all of our lovely ladies, too. You see to the left of your screen, all five of them. 3 newcomers here. Dana Rayner, her very first race, only 16 years old, her first race as a pro. Shout out to Ty Wolfslayer, too. Comes from a hare and hound background. Her goal is to be fast and also to continue on as a tattoo artist.
Wow.
She showed me her tattoos. She's got tattoos on her ears. How about that? Pretty cool, huh?
That's something that I don't think I'd do, not because maybe it doesn't look all that great, but because it would hurt really bad.
Yeah. At least she can hide them, though. You know, that's what they say, like, hide them on a job interview. She didn't go Mike Tyson style or anything like that. As we continue on here, guys, it is FMF presents round number 3 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, hosted by the Prairie Dogs from beautiful Glen Helen. 8 miles of fury, run in Talladega turn twice, lots of elevation. And we have about 22 minutes remaining. If it's your first time watching NGPC, remember this race will be a minimum of 90 minutes. They will make sure that we go over that mark. We could go well over 90 minutes if they come in right at the, right before 90 minutes. They'll make them run another lap. And this isn't like motocross or supercross. We're not talking about 2-minute lap times. We're talking about 8 miles.
So right there we are looking at the 313 of Lorenzo in that highly contested 450 four-stroke A class. Not 450, but just four-stroke A class. I believe Schultz was in second, and Brendan Watson on his brand new Yamaha 250F ride for this year was in third.
Here's what I can tell you, too. You mentioned the amphitheater moments ago that we're coming up on. That's where my GPS would take me a lot of times when I was trying to come to the off-road races here. Now, with a dirt bike or if there's a gate open, it's like a 2-minute drive. If there's not a gate open, it's like a 25-minute drive. You got to go all the way back out to the highway. I'm like, oh, Lord. So a few times my GPS took me to the amphitheater. I wasn't too happy about spending another 25 minutes to drive. As we take a look at your leader, Dante Oliveira, here comes the pro circuit. Kawasaki of Giacomo Rodondi from Italy, two of the best in the business in the dirt bike game right now, battling it out with 20 minutes left to go in this rough and tumble race, round number 3 of the NGPC.
And the way that works out, these guys are running, I believe, about a 13-minute, 12-minute lap time. So there's not very much time left. Because these are the longer laps, but man, it's still impressive that Giacomo can stay that close to Dante. And if live timing and scoring is correct, Ava's still not that far off of Michaela either.
Well, let's take a look right now. We can give it the eye test because there is Moto KK out in front with the big number 1 on her Honda. Ava, we got to tip our cap to her. She had a great performance today, but you know, Moto, Mark, this is a great question. There is Ava Silvestri right there. If you are Moto KK, if you're looking at the whole dirt bike world, everything you can do, what is next for her? Because she has proven that she is just so
looked like
dumb.
she was in front of her.
You think that Ava potentially got
Ava's
well?
in front of, if that was right, Michaela was just coming through the scoring booth or the scoring area.
Well, as we told you, what's our line? Officially unofficial is live scoring, so...
Yeah, so let's look at this. Ava's right there. So she's already gone through scoring, all that stuff. She's going back into what we call the canyon right there. So then if we pull back a little bit, I believe that was Moto KK that came in the bottom of the screen.
Well, we're going to have to sort this one out. You'd have to believe Moto KK had some type of problem or went down if Ava is indeed this far ahead.
Well, so that's her going up, and then if our camera guys pulled out a little bit or just stayed at the top of the hill right there, we would see it. But I believe that unofficially whoa,
is that Giacomo?
And that's our leaders.
That's Giacomo and Dante. We've got a fight to the finish here with 18 minutes left to go. Pit stops are over. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Nose to tail. Giacomo has closed it up. Only about a second gap as he has the leader in sight. Giacomo using a little creativity, some different line choices. Vision starting to go away here at Glen Helen. Starting to get a little dry and a little dusty. What a change from the mudfest that we saw here the last few years. Giacomo Rodondi, the man from Italy, using every ounce of that pro circuit Mitch Payton horsepower to try to run down the factory Red Bull KTM rider. Up the hill we go. Fistful of throttle. Here comes Giacomo. Closing in. That Kawasaki trying to get by the 5-time leader. Inside. Giacomo on the inside. Shows Dante his rear fender, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a new leader.
So now is he going to go to the outside or the inside right here?
Oh, Dante, countering back, though. This is far from over. This is a heavyweight bout between two greats. Dante gets right back around him. Giacomo now to the inside.
Well, and Giacomo had two choices there. Either go to the inside, which is the slower line, or try to go to the outside, and then Dante could have gone to the inside and got him back. But Well, Dante knows he's there now, so there's definitely lots of pressure on him right now. So we'll see if he can make that pass before they can get back to the ridge area. Because like we were saying before, Giacomo looks
look at that lapper
to be faster in these sections.
Watch that lapper. If you've been watching Supercross, you know that the lapper talk has been a hot discussion. In fact, actually, the great Cameron Steele, he made a big post saying lappers should pull off. That's how much they affect racing. You're not going to be able to pull off here in NGPC, but my point is they can change the complexion of this battle for first. Dante Oliveira out in front, pulling away. And, Mark, I got to believe Dante – did Giacomo disappear from our screen? Nope, no, he didn't. But Dante started to pull away. So the point that I was trying to make – Giacomo, I think, knew he had to make that pass when he did because Dante's so fast in this section. And the fact that Dante was able to quickly counter back, he recognized the urgency that he did not want Giacomo out in the good lines on that good section is very, very impressive. Well, this is where Giacomo's been able to pick up some time. Let's see if he can close it on this section.
Well, and again, Giacomo's been able to lose a little bit of time, pick up a little bit of time, and that's something that nobody has been able to do up until this point. And so if Giacomo can do that kind of stuff, it's got to get into Dante's head. So again, he's been putting in the work. He's been doing lots of testing with the team and getting stuff together. But man, it's all coming to the forefront for Giacomo and the entire Kawasaki Pro Circuit team right now.
Dante, one of the most decorated racers in all of dirt bike racing. He is the all-time NGPC 450 win leader at 29. 43 podiums for this young man. 5-time champion, 2-time Works champion, ISD gold medalist, West Hare Scramble Pro champion. Did one of the most amazing things I saw last year in all of racing when he went back east and won a GNCC. Very different style of racing, and was able to flex his muscles back on the East Coast. Dante Oliveira certainly red hot here in the dirt bike world.
Yeah, and the fact that Giacomo can stay close, and the Tyler, Lynn, and Matteo must have pitted because they were kind of in this screen last lap. So maybe they had to actually pit and kind of these guys were able to pull out a little bit. But man, this is great racing across the board. We got the a little bit of back and forth between the women's pro. We haven't talked very much about the 250 pro class or the Pro 2 class. But man, with racing like this out front, it's kind of hard to break away.
Yes, it is. Giacomo Redondi trying to reel in the 5-time. We'll see if we can do it, guys, when we return. The Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC Series. We'll be back right after this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Back, ladies and gentlemen, as you enjoy the sweet sounds of these motorcycles ripping around iconic, famous, legendary Glen Helen, San Bernardino, California. Jack Corpella, Mark Tilley with you. We are racing to a finish here. We'll wait till that clock comes back up. I believe we're about 15 minutes away, Mark Tilley, and boy, what a day it has been. The question is, does Giacomo Rodandi have one last push left in him to try to reel down our 5-time defending champion, Dante Oliveira?
Well, and we haven't been talking very much about the Pro 2 class, and there's a huge battle going on. Mason's out front, making it a little bit boring for the overall lead, but it looks like Kai Aiello and Cole Zeller are just going at it in the second and third spot to see, and I believe we're back up on the ridge. And I believe that's Kai and Cole up there. That's a lapped rider in between. But those guys going at it and have been going at it all race long.
Yeah, 11 minutes left to go. Mason Simmons, as you said, really a dominant performance today in Pro 2. He's another one who was injured last year, nursing a foot injury, but feeling much better this year. So hello to all of his friends and family watching in Melbourne, Australia, 19 hours ahead. We take a look at some of our lovely ladies. This is the 482 right here. I think this might be our resident tattoo artist that I spoke of earlier. Mark, you want any tattoos on your ears?
I definitely don't want any tattoos.
I think you look good with tattoos on your ears.
I don't think that I could man up through the tattoo process. I believe that was 402.
Madison Weber. That was Madison Weber.
Madison going through
Ty Wolfsler, the 813.
The scoring chute. So out front, Mason Simmons in first in the Pro 2 class. Sam's in second. Zeller's in third, and Kai's in fourth. Those three are going at it. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Colton Ake, and then Dustin Davis in sixth again.
That's a good run for Dustin Davis.
Yeah, only a couple seconds behind Ake, who has been a front runner in a lot of this, definitely in this 250 class for the last couple years. So lots of stuff happening right here, and we can't wait to see. Now, when you're saying about 11, maybe 12 minutes left, that can go 2, maybe 3 laps, probably about 2. They'll probably give them the white flag. So it's coming down to the wire of what we're doing. And one of the things that one of our spotters here was telling us all about was the shadows. There's lots of shadows late in the day here at Glen Helen. You kind of come up Mount St. Helens and you're going right into the sun, but there's lots of shadows that you drop down in areas and stuff like that. So depending on goggle choice, that could be a little bit that doesn't really play into kind of the whole scheme of things at some other tracks like it does here at Glen Helen with all the elevation changes.
53 degrees right now. Kind of a strange Southern California day. The days are still short. Remember, it's still early in March, and with these big mountains out here, you will get some shadows. So 100%. I know Primo and the Scott crew out there on Midway really advising these racers on what type of goggles to wear, but vision becoming an issue late in this race as Hintz leads our Junior A category. Congratulations to him. A lot of people jockeying for position all over this racetrack, but the big one we'll keep an eye on, Giacomo Rodandi and Dante Oliveira battling out front. Here's what amazed me about Dante, too. You just don't see this kid make a mistake. You would think Giacomo and the whole pro circuit team are probably just begging, come on, one bobble, one slip. And it just doesn't seem to happen as our leaders are getting ready to come back around once again. As we continue on, it is round number 3 of the NGPC series. 1,831 riders filling Glen Helen Raceway for round number 3. What an awesome turnout. Congratulations to everybody involved. I always get on my soapbox, too, if you hear me preaching on some of my social media channels out there that we got to keep racing alive everywhere. We're losing too many tracks. The best way to keep these tracks open is what these racers have done here this weekend. Support it. 1,831 of them. Might even be over that number at this point. So awesome turnout here for round number 3. Dante Oliveira still on front. Giacomo Rodandi just a couple seconds back. Lap traffic. Wait a minute. I'm taking a look. I see an orange bike giving chase. Giacomo didn't get around, did he, Mark?
It looks like
Wait a minute.
It looks like Giacomo
Did Giacomo get around? Wait, or is that Matteo? Is that the brother show? We got very similar looking brothers. Is that Dante right? That's Dante right there, I believe, right? Hard to tell with our outstanding drone coverage right here, but this could be Giacomo. Was that a lapper? I think Giacomo's got around. We're going to straighten it out as soon as we get our talented Mike Bertowski and the rest of our camera crew focused in on this battle. But I think Giacomo has got the lead with just 6 minutes left to go. Where's Dante?
That looks like Tyler Lynn.
Tyler, maybe. Okay, so there could have been a lot that happened. Is that Dante?
That might be Dante out there.
Maybe Giacomo went down.
He's faded a little bit.
Faded, went down.
Because that looks like Tyler Lynn, and then Mateo's right behind that. So we're going to find out really quick.
Yeah, we will sort it out, guys. As we said, we got our drones covering this portion of the track, and then we'll head into the infield.
It might be Dante coming back at us right now.
Let's see if that's the number one. Looks like that possibly was the number one who just went flying by us. KTM crew pumped about that, and now
I don't know. The Kawasaki crew's pretty pumped about whatever's going on. So there's Giacomo.
Oh, we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna learn as soon as you do. Giacomo Rodandi.
And that is Tyler Lynn behind him.
Rodandi, Tyler Lynn. Did something happen here? Lynn now putting the heat on Giacomo. Lynn showing off his outstanding world-class conditioning. He's already been down twice today, but there is no quit in him whatsoever. All right, so Giacomo Rodandi, Pro Circuit Kawasaki. We're still searching for answers, too.
He's going to the inside. Is he going to go for a pass?
Oh, Tyler
he
Lynn
did. He shut the door.
But Giacomo right back at him. We've got the Kawasaki and the Honda neck and neck, trading paint. Giacomo up the hill. Still got to figure out, though, is that Dante out in front?
That's not Dante in front.
Like we have got to get maybe some of our spotters here up can give us an answer. Who is leading this race as we try to figure it out?
So this is the last lap. This is Giacomo went to the inside. Dante went to the outside. Now it was a little bit different to where that's what he had to do last lap. He either had to make the decision on inside, outside. This time he went to the outside and got past. Last time he went to the inside and got past.
Well, Mark, I want to explain something, too, to the novice casual fan out there. We got 10 guys in this tower who all know racing, who work for this series, and nobody knows who's leading this race. That's how difficult it is sometimes in the GP-style racing with these long 8-mile laps. So we'll get you updated just as soon as we can. But this could potentially be battle for the lead. If it is, then you got to believe Dante went down.
We'll see them come across right in front of us. I haven't seen Dante come across yet. So they'll be coming through the tunnel right now out, and then right now they're passing in front of us. That's Tyler Lynn out front.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Lynn just took the pass for the lead. What happened to Dante Oliveira? Our scoring still says Dante Oliveira out in front.
And that's because they haven't come through the scoring chute.
Did Dante go down?
He would have had to, or something happened.
There, the 24 of Tyler Lynn out of SLR Honda. Is he our new leader? He's been down twice. He looks back. Fatigue creeping in. Giacomo Rodandi. There's Matteo Oliveira. Where is the number one of the five-time?
I believe he just went by in front of us right now. So he's going to be off the tail end of Matteo, I believe.
Unbelievable. We've got the white flag coming out this time by. But how about it? What a story of resilience. What a story of survival. Tough as nails. Never quitting, never giving up. He's been down twice. He now takes the white flag. Your leader, your brand new leader, Tyler Lynn out of Utah. I cannot believe he has fought his way back up to the lead. And Mark Tilley, I sure hope I didn't give Dante the announcer's jinx as I was going on my diatribe about how this young man never makes a mistake. Something happened to Dante Oliveira. Was it a bike failure? Did he go down?
Did he come together with Giacomo?
I don't know.
There's all stuff that could have happened. And I believe that Dante is going to go. Yeah, so he just passed right in front of us. So he's a few seconds back. And as we can say, or as you can see on live timing and scoring, the first two guys separated by a couple seconds. Mateo right there, about 6 seconds back. Dante's probably about 10 seconds back from them. So something happened. Something definitely happened.
And let's talk about this storyline. If you're Giacomo Redondi, you've led this race. You've been chasing Dante Oliveira for much of it, and all of a sudden, here comes this wild card, Tyler Lynn, that gets around you just a few moments ago. If you're Giacomo, you got to make this pay off. You got to win this race right now. Tyler Lynn is like the man that nobody saw coming, robbing this bank, running away from it. Wow, he has found another gear.
And Giacomo hasn't been behind him, so he doesn't know where he's making up time and where he's losing time to this rider either, and he's got a lap to figure it out. And Tyler Lynn going into the lead. Now they're up on the ridges. Dante was a little bit faster than Giacomo up here, but Tyler, it's an unknown card because he's been riding around in third, fourth place, back there with Mateo, and then now all of a sudden, going into the last lap, he takes the lead.
What a huge mental boost. What a huge confidence boost. Tyler Lynn has kicked it up a notch after he passed Giacomo Redondi for the lead. There's the 200 of Dare Di Martil. Factory Beta came in third, currently running sixth according to our live timing. But as for now, Tyler Lynn, the unlikely winner, in position to take the checkered flag if he can hold on. What a race. And this is what you got to love about this being so unpredictable. And this is what I said, Mark, about putting yourself in a position to win. We probably would have said 15 minutes ago, the odds-on favorite, all bets would have been going to the five-time champion, Dante Oliveira. Something happened that we were not privy to. We'll get the story at some point. And there is Mason Simmons, Dante's teammate. He still continues to lead in the Pro 2 category. All is well with him. But now time expires as we are on our final lap, racing to a finish here. San Bernardino, Glen Helen, California, Tyler Lynn trying to break up the dominance of Dante Oliveira, trying to get that SLR Honda on the box. Mark Samuels is doing cartwheels somewhere as he's got an opportunity. And I understand Moto KK got around Ava is what we're hearing. Could be 2 wins today for SLR Honda.
Yeah, they're going to make Mark go somewhere for the weekend more often because the team is definitely excelling. We're watching Mason. I believe Mason's mom and his younger brother were out here. I know they were doing some testing with Bob Bell during the week. So good to show the family a little bit of a speed and win some races. But, yeah, I mean, if you would have told us that this is where it is, and there they are right there.
And Tyler's gone.
On the last part of the ridge to where, like I said, they were coming down into the meadow area right before they head down Boy Scout Trail. And there's Sam right there scrubbing it over the top, doing a little pre-jumping over the top of that.
This is blowing my mind, Mark. If I'd have told you Tyler Lynn was going to go down twice, from what we know, maybe 3 or 4 times, we don't see everything, and would be leading this race on the final lap, would you believe me?
No, if you'd have told me that a lap ago, I wouldn't have believed you. So lots can happen in the back. Something had actually happened to Dante. So lots can happen in the back. So there's the Boy Scout Trail that we're talking about. There's Tyler Lynn, and there's Giacomo Redondi within striking distance. And if this comes down to the last corner, last lap, it's for the win, Giacomo's going all out.
Yes, indeed. But Tyler Lynn, the 2019 Pro 2 champion, National Hare and Hound Pro 250 champion out of Monster Energy SLR Honda, looking for what could quite possibly be the win of his young career for the 23-year-old out of Utah. He is closing in on the checkers. Giacomo Redondi, not done yet. He's given it everything he got, but it's almost like Giacomo expended so much energy battling with Dante. May have just gassed himself out, may have faded.
Yeah, well, and everybody's going to be wanting you to interview them before the next round because you interviewed Tyler and he went out and he was possibly able to win this one. You're going to have a long list of guys wanting you to interview them right before the next race.
And like I said, I'm just astounded. I can't believe this gap because Dante wasn't even really able to put this much of a gap on Giacomo. Tyler gets around and Tyler is just gone. He's the fastest man on the property right now. Tyler Lynn out of Utah on that SLR Honda, continuing to work his way around this famous and iconic legendary race course, San Bernardino, California, navigating his way through the tricky pavement section. I'm sure in his mind right now, trying to avoid mistakes. Take me inside the mind of a racer, Mark. He's already been down twice from what we know, maybe more. Is that in his mind right now? Is he worried about making a mistake, or is he able to just block that out and get tunnel vision?
I would be worried about making that last mistake after you've gone all the way to this point. His adrenaline might be going. His heart rate's pegged right now. So there's going through very technical rock section right before we went away. He was going into a long technical rock section. The next thing, we'll see them come in at right outside of our booth. But, man, it's amazing that he was able to come back from that.
Truly amazing. A lot of unanswered questions, a lot to talk about after this race, and we are not done yet, guys. Let's not count any chicken before it hatches because a lot can still happen, especially here at Glen Helen. We've seen some late race drama in all of these decades of legendary bar banging out here, that is for sure. But as for now, Tyler Lynn remains in control of this thing, and that explains why the Pro Circuit team was so pumped. I was wondering why it looked like the KTM team was a little bit down. I thought that Dante was just that far ahead of everybody, but that's not the case. We're going to sort it out as we give you a look high above this 8-mile race course. And Mark, I can't wait to when we watch the leaders emerge here out of the final section of this racetrack. We have got so much to sort out. Is Tyler Lynn on the brink of the biggest win of his career?
Yeah, no, he's right there, and he's been able to look like last time we saw it on camera, he was able to pull it out a little bit more on Giacomo. It looked like Matteo was still running in third, so it's kind of nice. We have the vision of we're seeing Dante come out of the back too, not really making up any time on those guys, so it's pretty amazing. I can't wait to find out what happened. But they're in the REM section going over Mount Whitney, and they will come back through the live pit area where all the teams are at. So there's, like you said, we're not done yet. We're definitely not done yet.
We're not done yet, but Tyler Lynn trying to make history. Let's recap this thing for you. Giacomo Redondi led for a short period of time. Dante Oliveira, the dominant 5-time champion, gets around him. We then witnessed a great battle. At some point, we're not sure what happened. We're not sure what went wrong. Dante fell way back. Giacomo had the lead for a little bit, and then you saw it on this broadcast. Tyler Lynn just absolutely found another gear late in this race and put a huge gap on Giacomo after getting around him. We'll see if he can hold it.
Yeah, well, and it was that same turn that Dante was able to get Giacomo back. He's going to hate that turn over there because one lap he went to the outside and Dante was able to get by him, and then the other lap he went to the inside and Tyler was able to get by him. So or maybe it was the vice versa there, but both in that passes made in that turn, he's thinking about that. I know I would be thinking about that. So he's thinking about that, but man, he's putting, if he has a chance at the win, but he's putting this Pro Circuit Kawasaki on the box for the first time.
It's gonna be thrilling, guys. Right now, we are just waiting for our leaders to emerge, and don't want to put any jinxes on Tyler Lynn. It seems like every time we start talking about somebody and how flawless they've been all day, something goes wrong. And as we've said before, that happens here at Glen Helen. This track changes, shadows, and vision a major factor right now.
Exactly.
And I'm sitting here with goosebumps, just like everybody watching on the live stream, trying to see if it will be Tyler Lynn who emerges as our leader, or if Giacomo had one last charge left in him.
Yeah, and they should be coming into our view anytime soon. And I looked like we just saw Ava and Michaela go by, and I believe Ava was in front of Michaela. So there we go. We're back to a live shot.
That dreaded REM section wreaking havoc. You can lose the lead. You could maybe even lose your religion up there. Oh, I got the big pop out of Mark Tilley. Thanks for my dad joke.
Definitely knocked myself out on that track a couple times, that's for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, continuing on here, racing to a close. As we take a look at the Skaggs Racing drone cam, will Tyler Lynn make history on the Monster Energy SLR Honda?
Well, and there they...
What a knockdown, drag-out, brutal, torturous, blustery race it has been. Tremendously windy out there as well. The prevailing westerlies rearing their head a little bit. That's actually helping today with vision. A little sprinkle has helped with vision, but it's not the total mud race we thought it would be.
That's Mateo.
That is Mateo Oliveira. Got to believe he was running third for much of today. Our leaders...
I believe that's going to be Giacomo, and if Mateo... I believe...
Here is, I believe, your leader, the 24 of the man from Utah, Tyler Lynn. 24, and there's so much more. Is he clearing? Is he coming closer to the checkered flag? Is he coming closer to making history? I don't see Giacomo Redondi anywhere. Look at this lead. That is what they call
He's coming down the hill right behind him right now.
Oh, there's Giacomo Redondi. Giacomo is running out of time. Just a few more turns to go through our version of the Hollywood sign. It is the legendary Glen Helen Talladega letters. A few more turns to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Lynn is feeling good. He has overcome adversity. He gets fist pumps and cheers from the entire Prairie Dog crew and the staff here at NGPC. This is why you just never know what is going to happen. Giacomo with one last charge. I don't think he's got enough Glen Helen real estate. Through the chute we go, into the Yamaha finish. Say hello to your unlikely winner out of SLR Honda. Tyler Lynn takes the checkers. Congratulations, the moment of his career. Giacomo Redondi coming home in second. I think Mateo Oliveira behind him. We'll find out in mere moments. But man, we have got a lot to sort out post-race. Unbelievable. What happened to your five-time champ, Dante Oliveira? And still waiting for our third-place finisher to come across the line. Wow, these guys just checked out. What a battle, and what a show of respect between these
looks
two.
like Mateo that
There's
just came
Mateo
across the
right
line.
there. So unofficially, we've got Tyler Lynn, Giacomo Redondi, Mateo Oliveira. Where is the big number one of Dante? There he is right there, a fourth for Dante. What happened to the factory Red Bull KTM racer out there? That is the question.
And I believe we're going to come back with interviews with these guys to find out what happened. But we're still waiting to find out where the Pro 2 stacks up and then the women, because there was lots of back and forth. Looks like Ryan Surratt coming across the line. But lots of back and forth with the women racers as well.
All right, guys, our Pro 2's coming in just a second. We'll step away and sort it all out for you when we return. Don't go anywhere. Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC Series will be back right after this.
Where are we doing interviews?
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
2, 3. Checkpoint.
I'm Jeremy McGrath, and I trust Maxxis tires. It's the only way I roll.
We welcome you back to what was an unpredictable and punishing, entertaining, thrilling round of racing. It is FMF Presents round number 3 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, hosted by the Prairie Dogs here. My name is Jack Rapella from the Cycle Dragon Racing Jack YouTube channel. My broadcast colleague, Mark Tilley from the Dirt Bike Magazine YouTube channel, he's stepped out. He's headed to the podium, and hopefully we'll get some answers for you guys, because I got to say, Ross Fitz Productions, this entire team, they've done a great job with this live stream, as they always do. But the point we try to drive home with an 8-mile course, we always don't know what happened. And apparently something happened to Dante Oliveira, who was leading this race, that caused him to drop back to what we believe is 4th. That is officially unofficial right now. But what a story. What a story of perseverance. Tyler Lynn, the 24, gets the win. Giacomo Rodandi coming home with the 2nd. Matteo Oliveira 3rd. Followed by Dante, Ryan Surratt, Dare DeMartille, Justin Heft, welcome back to him, great performance, Tony Durst, Timothy Barnum, and Damon Woolslayer, rounding out your top 10. But I know Mark Tilley out there is working hard, trying to get the story for us. Again, your race recap looks a little something like this. Giacomo had the lead briefly. Dante led it for most of the time with about 5 to 6 minutes to go. Something happened to Dante. We don't know if it was a bike problem. We don't know if he went down. But nonetheless, he dropped from 1st to 4th. And then that's when Tyler Lynn was able to really, really charge past Giacomo Rodandi, put a gap on him, and never look back. Congratulations to Mark Samuels, the whole SLR team. And again, the unsung heroes over there, Juan Esporo and Carlos Estrada. You guys are awesome. I know they're going to have big smiles on their faces. The head wrenches, the head mechanics, they keep everything dialed in over there at SLR Honda. Such a great story with that team, too. What's SLR stand for? Slam Life Racing. The namesake comes from Mark Samuels saying he was never invited to be on anyone's team, so he started his own. And that's how Slam Life Racing Honda was born, and what a big day for them. We believe 2 wins. We'll see how the women's category shakes out. We also believe Mason Simmons got the win here in your Pro 2 category, as we still got some finishers coming in at beautiful, iconic Glen Helen Raceway. Big thanks goes out to Bud Feldkamp, Lori Wilson, Chad Tucker. Looking forward to a great season of racing here. We got MotoFest coming up, the two-stroke nationals, and, of course, the Vet Nationals at the end of the year. It is that mecca of speed. Like I said, if you come to SoCal, forget about the Hollywood sign. Who needs to see that? You need to see the Glen Helen sign. Love this place. Always great racing here, that is for sure. You never know what they're going to put on. They still run the off-road trucks not far from here as well, and we all love being a part of that. More finishers coming in. I know they're tired. Gosh, what a punishing 90 minutes plus out there on Glen Helen Raceway here at San Bernardino, California. Beautiful, plush surroundings and a beautiful day for racing. Like I said, we didn't expect it to be in the 50s all day long in Southern California, but that's what we got. Also at 1.2, it looked like this may be a total washout. That was the case the last 2 years, but not today. Just a little sprinkle, a little track watering from the good Lord above, and primo conditions as we take a look at these lush surroundings. Like I said, I bet a lot of you didn't know California looks like this. It's not just LA and San Francisco. Out here in the Sunshine State, you get some area like this in the Inland Empire. Excuse me, I think this is a part of the Inland Empire. My California pros will know it. Yes, it is up here. Beautiful, beautiful part of California. They love their racing here. And 1,800 plus racers have jam-packed that pit area for what was an incredible outing. Round number 3. We now turn our attention to round number 4 of the series. Stay tuned to NGPC this week because you may remember we were initially slated to go to 29 Palms. That race, unfortunately, is off. Had a problem with the hosting club out there. But they're working hard to find a replacement race, and from what I hear, it's looking very, very positive. It's looking very, very good. So I do believe we're going to step away for one moment, but we will be right back to sort it all out. We're also going to talk to Mark Tilley on the podium. Don't go anywhere. Rocky Mountain, ATV MC, NGPC Series. We'll be right back.
Thanks, fellas.
Business in the front, party in the back. The all-new Kawasaki Ridge.
Welcome back, everybody. FMF presents round number 3 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC Series, hosted by the Prairie Dogs MC. That's a lot of letters in there, huh? I'll be happy to not say that one anymore, but I won't be happy to leave this racetrack because that was a thrilling and rousing race, everything we hoped it would be. big shout out to all the talented riders from this great series, putting on one heck of a show. And we still got a lot more to go in 2025 until we figure out who's going to win this championship title. Major monkey wrench thrown into the points, too, because first 2 rounds, it looked like it was going to be more of the same. Dante Oliveira wins both in commanding fashion, but something happened today. And like I said, I'm glad you guys are sticking with us live here on NGPC YouTube, because Mark Tilley is working hard out there, and we are going to have an answer for you. We're going to figure out what happened, but what an emotional, fulfilling win for Tyler Lynn. We heard from him in show. He talked about just how hard he had been working, and let this be a lesson to all you young riders out there. If something happens, if you go down, if you have a bobble, and this is a good lesson for life as well, never give up. Get back up, dust yourself off, continue to charge ahead. That's what Tyler did. He went down twice, maybe more. We saw him go down twice, but he was able to win this race. Unbelievable. Something happened to Dante Oliveira, and then Tyler, not only to get around Dante, but to get around the red-hot Giacomo Redondi, who was flying all day long, and then put a gap on Giacomo is so impressive. So I know major shot in the arm right now to the Slam Life Racing Honda crew as we get set to take you down to the podium in mere moments. Like I said, Mark Tilley's down there right now. We believe Mason Simmons is our winner in the Pro 2 category, unless something happened unexpected. We'll sort all that out. I think Moto KK got the win in Pro Women, unless Ava Silvestri got around her. We are still finalizing things, and right now Mark Tilley is inside that big shed right there. This is the Hall of Fame here at Glen Helen Raceway, San Bernardino, California. If you've never been here, that's just another reason why you need to put that on your bucket list, because once you enter that building, it's a who's who of legendary racers that have somehow impacted Glen Helen. Jeremy McGrath is in there. Edison Dye is in there. Mitch Payton is in there. Roger DeCoster is in there. Shrines to just all of these legendary racers that they've put into their Hall of Fame. I think it is so cool. I've been to a lot of motocross tracks, and I can tell you there isn't any place out there quite like Glen Helen. Absolutely love this place. Multiple different tracks, and I do see they're getting ready on the podium. Mark Tilley hard at work. Tyler Lynn, Mateo Oliveira, who had a great run. I think Mateo, we saw Mateo go down as well today, and putting his toughness on display. He got right up, dusted himself off, and here in just a few moments, we'll tell you who gets on the podium in Pro 2. There's the number 1 in Mason Simmons. I think he's your winner. Looks like Cole Zeller is going to come home with another podium performance as well, the big 3.9 of the Husqvarna. Way to get off the schneid for him. As I said, he lost a subframe during the last race in Blythe, so we've got a lot of young talent that continues to climb their way up through the ranks here in the NGPC series. But what a day for Factory Red Bull KTM in the Pro 2 category. Speaking with Mason Simmons, too, he says he really hopes to be up in that 450 category next year. That's the goal for him. And look at, is it the 87? All right, the 87 of Kai Aiello, our Supercross pro, coming in. Oh, I'm sorry, that does not Kai Aiello. Mark Tilley can hear me down there. We'll get it all straightened out here in just a second. I know we got Zeller. Let me check my numbers right here. My eyes are a little fuzzy at this point. We're going to go to our podium, though, as soon as these guys are ready. I'm sorry, the 87 of, let me get this right, too, because I'm going to get it right, and he's going to be happy. That is Sam Pretscherer. Sam Pretscherer. Did I get it right, Sam? Thank you. If we ever mispronounce your name, don't be afraid to let us know. I thought for a second that was Kai, because Kai was running up there hot and heavy, but it looks like our podium here in Pro 2 is Simmons, Cole Zeller, and I do believe we are ready. So Mark Tilley, if you can hear me, I'm going to send it down to you to talk to our podium finishers here in Pro 2.
Okay, Jack, we're down here on the podium with the Pro 2 class. Third place overall, Cole Zeller. Your subframe's not falling off on this bike, so everything stayed together. Tell us a little bit about your race here at Glen Helen.
Yeah, I got off to a good start. I was running third for a little bit behind Kai. Kai was riding a really good race. He rode really good against me, so I can appreciate that. And then in the pit, I got Kai before the pit. In the pit, then I got passed by 2 people. So then I'm in 4th, and Sam kind of was able to pull away from me and Kai, and then me and Kai never really separated the whole race. So it was hectic, man. It was wire to wire, like no rest at all. So yeah, I'm happy with the 3rd.
So there's a lot of people that get you here. Who would you like to thank for getting you here?
My dad has been to every single one of my races and is my mechanic at the races, so I can't thank him enough. My girlfriend being at all the races and my family being here, they allow me to do this, and my brother and the rest of my family sacrifice a lot for me to be here. So, and then I'd like to thank Husqvarna and Lake Elsinore Casino, Robbie Bell, Bob Bell, Precision Concepts, Hunt Racing, Pro Taper, Rhino Power, Nitro Moose, Cameron Chris with Gainsinger Human Performance, Pro Taper, Precision Stabilizers, and Pro Circuit. Everyone else, man, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, as you can tell, it takes a village to get these guys here. We're going to walk over here to 3rd place. And, Jack, this is number 87. This is your buddy Sam, not Kai. So, Sam, running around top 3, your main focus here is for National Hare and Hound. You kind of come out to the NGPCs to kind of keep your skills tight. So tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't get off to the best start, but in the end I got there and just sort of pushed through on the rocks where I knew I was confident. And in the motocross section, just pulled the roadblock the whole lap. So tried to stay in front and then just push in the rocks in the bush section. So, no, it went pretty well.
All right, so who would you like to thank for getting you here?
Yeah, the whole Three Brothers Hatch racing team, Husqvarna, the entire Bell family, Bob, Robbie. Those guys have done so much for me, and they helped me with the bike and in the gym as well. So massive shout out to those guys. And, yeah, all my sponsors, FMF, AME, Pod, Blood Racing and Troy Lee Designs, and especially Golden Tire.
All right, well, there you have it. That's Sam, who came across the line in 2nd in the Pro 2 class. And we're going to turn our attention here to the champ. And it doesn't look like anybody's got anything for you. You kind of made it boring for everybody else and let them all battle behind you. So tell us about your race.
Yeah, not too bad of a start. I was obviously planning on a whole shot, but I got 3rd, I think, around the first turn. And I was following Kai up the ridges, and he was filling me in. And yeah, we were going for it, and then I got around him and pulled a gap, and yeah, just kept charging all race, and the bike was phenomenal. I took a bit of a gamble with that tyre today, and it paid off, so it was good.
Well, and the tire you're mentioning right now is what we call the paddle tire, the Dunlop paddle tire. What made you choose that tire?
I seen a little bit of rain and thought I'll throw it on. I usually use it out here, it's riding around, so yeah, I mean, it's a good tire, and it's a little worn out now, but it was good.
Well, and I know that some of your family was here. Who would you like to thank for getting you here?
Yeah, for sure. My mum and younger brother are here. It was cool for him to come out. And, yeah, Mike, Cherie, Cameron, Carissa, you know, the whole RPM racing team, they do a lot for me and make this possible for me to go racing. And, yeah, Rhino Power, Trail Jesters, Precision Concepts, Bob nailed the setting, Robbie Bell for all the gym work and keep us in line. And, yeah, just everyone else that makes it possible for this to happen. And, yeah, it was a good day. I'm happy.
All right, well, there you have it, Jack. It sounds like, again, the Precision Concepts team of Bob Bell and Robbie Bell is doing a great job of keeping these Pro 2 athletes going. So I'll get out of the way, and there looks like some cool trophies from the Prairie Dogs. So back to you, Jack.
Great job, Mark Tilley. And, yeah, congratulations, boys. Well earned. How about Australia bringing home 2 of the 3 top spots? Congratulations, Cole Zeller. Congratulations, Sam Pretscherer, and also Mason Simmons. Mason, you're going to have to see if that helmet fits. That is a cool trophy here by the Prairie Dogs. Thank you guys so much. As we take a look down, I just missed it by 1. I knew Kai Aiello was in that battle, but gosh, a drag race. Just 3 seconds off of Cole Zeller. And for the Cowboy Colt Neck, he salvages some points. Don't count him out. just yet this year when it comes to the point series. He's still recovering from that concussion and that wreck. Dustin Davis, who we heard from during this show, 6th place finish for him. Great performance. Leighton Smale, 7th. Tristan Alvarez, 8th. Noah Gordon, 9th. And Jackson Lather rounding out your top 10 today from NGPC at Glen Helen Raceway. In just a few moments, I think we're going to hear from our lovely lady. Look at it. It does fit. Oh, you guys look great, man. You know what? I was just at Daytona International Raceway, and I can tell you one man that would be proud of that helmet, and that is the late, great Dale Earnhardt. It looks like something he would have worn way back in the day. That is super, super cool. And a big shout out to this series, too. Racers love it when you... I know some of these racers, they've got so many trophies. They've got so many plaques. When you can bring home a trophy like that, you will never forget it. And there will be a special place on the mantle for it as we take a look at the dust settling on Glen Helen. What a weekend it was. We're going to check in with our women in mere moments. Like I said, I still don't. I'm getting results as you do. I still don't know who won this race. I think it was Moto KK. Might have been Ava Silvestri. We have 5 ladies starting today. And do me a favor out there in the comments, if you're still watching us in YouTube land, let's find all these fast ladies and bring them to the NGPC series because I want to fill up this class. I think we could have 10, 15 ladies on the gate before it's all said and done. There are some fast women out there on dirt bikes. That is for sure. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this live coverage. We got a great team out here. I want to thank everybody for working so hard. Ross Fitz Productions and all the sponsors that make it happen. Honda, our #1 sponsor of this live stream. Thank you guys so much. But between James Burtock and Kelly McGuire on audio and Ross Fitz, Scott McElmore, producer, and Giovanni Brito, our drone team, you guys are all awesome. As we take a look at 4-stroke A, Lane Lorenzo getting the win again. Remember that name because it's not going to be long before you see Lane in the pro categories on that gas. He's got a lot of help from his good friend Ava Silvestri. She's helped him climb the ranks and helped him get a gas sponsorship. And I think Insane Lane is going to be headed for the pro classes sooner rather than later. Also a great run out there for Andrew Schultz, Brenna Watson, Caden Lynn, Harlem Nelson, Rylan Binford, Gavin Bentley, Tanner Williams, Tegan Whalen, and Cal Kunderson, rounding out your top 10 today from beautiful Glen Helen Raceway. What a wonderful day for racing it was. And like I said, I'm just so happy it stayed dry. Mud races are pretty cool, but that is not what we saw today. Well, I believe we are ready at our podium. Let's send it down to the astute, knowledgeable Dirt Bike Magazine test rider, Mark Tilley. He's got our lovely ladies.
Well, thanks for that, Jack. The check's in the mail for those kind words. Now, this is a young man. We're looking at a podium that we haven't ever seen before. This is the 450A class. We've been talking about this class on the live feed. This is kind of the feeder class into the Pro 2 class that you just interviewed Dustin Davis about his successful transition. This is another high desert young man that I've been able to be around a lot. This is Brennan Watson. He's coming from the amateur class, I guess, on a 125, moved to a 250 this year on a Yamaha. So, Brennan, first podium for the year. Tell us about your race.
It was good. I got a 3rd place start, and then I got around Prix like 4 laps in or 3 laps in, and then I just rode my own race from there.
Well, now you transitioned from a 125 to a 250F. What's that? And then a longer race, too. You're going from a 45-minute race to an hour-and-a-half race. What have you had to do to train different to make that happen?
I've been going to CrossFit and then just riding a lot, and then, yeah.
Well, and I heard you like to play the video games, too, so Mom and Dad got to get you off the couch and stop playing those video games and get out riding.
Yeah.
So who would you like to thank for getting you here?
My mom and dad, God, Simi Valley Cycles, Donnie Lewis at Yamaha, X-Brand Goggles, O'Neill Race or Gear, and whoever else I forgot.
So that's congratulations on your 3rd place finish and lots of podiums to come, I'm sure, for you. So we're going to walk over here to 2nd place. Another new face, Jack. We get to talk about him a lot. We don't normally say his first name, but you're Anthony Schultz. Andrew Schultz. So, sorry. Tell us about your race.
It was really good. I got a good start and just tried to put in good laps. And Lane caught me and passed me and tried to stay behind him, but made a few mistakes and then just kind of rode my race from there.
So is this your first year in the 450A class? Did you just come for the amateurs, or have you been in this class for a year?
No, I've been in this class since 2023. But last year I didn't do very good. I got injured and stuff. So this year I'm healthy and ready to go.
All right, so who would you like to thank?
My mom, my dad, all my buddies for helping me out. Travis for getting some mooses for me. Shock Seals, Husqvarna, Rick's Custom Shutters and Blinds, IMS, DID, Flow Vision, Rainer Training Complex, Pro Circuit, Guts, City Service, and everyone else I forgot. Thank you so much.
All right, well, that's your second place finisher. Now we're going to turn around. We've talked about you a lot on the live feed, Lane, so tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They dropped the gate really fast, which was unfortunate because I wasn't ready, but got like a mid-pack start and just put my head down and was able to get around a lot of people on the first lap, and I think I got Andrew on the second lap and was just charging to the end.
All right, so pretty straightforward. Worked your way from the back to the front, top step of the podium. Who'd you like to thank for getting here?
Yeah, first off, my mom and dad for making this possible, Gas for helping me out, Level 1 Graphics, Motion Pro, Guts, 7, Mojo, 707 Suspension for getting my bike dialed in, and everyone else I forgot. Thank you.
All right, Jack, well, there you have it. There's the highly contested four-stroke A class. I'm sure that you're going to see these guys on a lot of podiums to come, and I'll move out of the way so they can get their trophy.
Yes, indeed. Great job, Mark Tilley, and great job to all those racers down there. I know we're going to see them climb the pro ranks. Man, what a great racing all around. Let's take a look at our pro women. These were the results I was waiting for, and oh, man, a close one out there. Michaela Moto KK Nielsen makes sure that Mark Samuels and SLR Honda brings home the double. Congratulations, Honda. Ava Silvestri with a great ride out there as well. She brings home a second. And also all these new ladies, like I said, Madison Weber, the 402. Great job by her today to come home on top of the box. Also a big shout out to our aspiring tattoo artist, Ty Woolslayer, and 16-year-old sensation, Dana Rayner out there, who did an absolutely fantastic job. I have an update for everybody as well. I've been working hard. You know, my reporter background up here, I texted Bobby Dawson, head mechanic for Dante Oliveira, and Mark, I don't even know if you can hear me because I know you're interested in this. Bobby Dawson says, let me read this for you. I want to get exactly what he said. Bobby Dawson, moments ago when I texted him, he said, overshot a berm too hard. So that is what happened to Dante Oliveira. Let's hope he's okay. We'll have to catch up with him in the pits, but not exactly sure what part of the track that was on, but that was the mistake that enabled Tyler Lynn and Giacomo Redondi to capitalize. What a race it was. We've told you a million times, you just never can count on anything until that checkered flag waves. We're going to talk to our women here in just a few moments, but what a performance out there for Honda. And by the way, Honda, our official live stream sponsor. You see the logo behind me, and we're not far away from Honda's American headquarters. I know there's going to be a big party down there tonight at American Honda after they win the pro category and also the pro women's category. Speaking of pro women, Mark Tilley's working hard on the podium. Mark, what do you got for us down there?
Well, Jack, our boss, Craig Hunter, is working us to death down here because we got about 1 million podiums to do. But we'd like to welcome Maddie Weber, first pro race, naturally first pro podium as well. So congratulations on your third place finish. Take us through your race.
It was pretty good. I managed just to keep it on two wheels, not wreck myself too bad. The pro sections were really fun, new stuff in the back, which I loved. Yeah, overall pretty stress-free, I think, maybe. Yeah. And then when I came in, they said you got third, so I was like, sweet.
So now, did you come through the amateur ranks of NGPC, or are you new to the series altogether?
Yeah, I raced women's A last year, got that championship. And then this year I wanted to do something different, so now I'm doing the National Hare and Hound Series. And I went pro for that one. And then I was like, oh, I'll come race the NGPC this weekend. And I was like, oh, shoot, I got to do women's pro because it's AMA. So, yeah. But I got a podium, so.
So now, have you done anything different coming from the amateur ranks into the pro ranks, different training or anything like that, or just riding your dirt bike?
No, just riding my bike and having fun.
All right, well, we know it takes a lot of people to get you here. Who would you like to thank?
Let's see. Let's start off with Dan Paulson. He kicks my ass in the gym so I don't break a sweat on the bike. And then Kurt Nicole. He trains me on the bike. My parents, of course. And I have to mention my sisters because they get mad at me every time because I never mention them.
All right, well, congratulations on your first pro race, first pro podium. Hopefully we'll see you back here a lot.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're going to walk over here. Whoa, if we don't get killed. So, positivity. You have a lot to look positive in this one. You were running up front, pulled the trigger, you were out front. So, tell us about your race.
Yeah, I mean, I proved to myself at Blythe that I could... Am I talking in slow-mo? I proved to myself at Blythe that I could stay up front, just had to manage the middle of the race better. But... yeah, I just tried to get through those first couple laps where those A guys kind of just are all over the place around us. And then once they cleared, I found myself right on Michaela's butt. So I just tried to latch on and just stay as close as possible. And she made a couple... Am I talking in slow-mo? Okay. And she made a couple mistakes, and I was able to get by her, and then I just made a couple mistakes, and then vice versa. We just kept going back and forth, and unfortunately, yeah, at the end I tried to make the pass, but ran out of gas. That's on me. I missed my pit. So, yeah, I mean, all positives. I ran up front first time since this race last year, so can't really be too bummed, but just maybe next time make it to the pit.
Well, you got, like I said, you got a lot to be positive about. You're saying all you wanted to do was get close to her and be able to ride with her. Not only did you ride with her, but you showed her your rear fender and put her behind you for a while. So who would you like to thank for getting you here?
Of course, first and foremost, my trainer, Jared Becker, Re-Evolve Life. Probably wouldn't have been able to carry that pace all day without him and in the gym and on the bike training. So, yeah, huge shout out to him. And, of course, my whole family, my mom, my dad, my sister, who's been traveling all over the country for me for the last 3 weeks. And, of course, gas. 395 Motorsports, Troy Lee Designs, FMF, Motion Pro, Blood Lubricants, Dirt Tricks, Racer Decal, and everybody else. Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Well, let's move to the champ. You pulled it off again. Last time I was talking to you on the podium at Blythe, you were kind of swaying a little bit. So you're not swaying this time. It looks like you didn't hit the ground. So tell us about your race.
Yeah, so Thursday night and the beginning of 6, so I've been, it's been kind of hard to keep everything down after races, and so I was just kind of trying to race my own race. I ended up stalling the first lap, so she kind of came in front, and then I made a push and passed her, and then I had a pit, and then I caught her again, and then just tried to manage the race from there. Not much to say for being sick, but I'm just happy to pull it together for not being 100%.
All right, well, we'll get you out of here real quick. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, and my grandparents for coming out. Mark for coming straight after Daytona and his wife. My boyfriend Parker and the whole SLR Hone racing team, Fly, Alpine Stars, IMS, everyone on this bike. We really made that race work, so thank you.
All right, well, congratulations. I'll get out of the way so they can get their trophies and go from there.
Big congratulations to the lovely ladies down there. Moto KK, Ava Silvestri continuing their 1 and 2 battle, and Maddie bringing it home on top of the box. Look at those cool trophies, those cool helmets. Look, it's going to fit too. Oh, wait, that might be a little too big for Moto KK. Still a good visual. That is awesome. Congratulations, guys. Hard-fought victory. Mark Samuels, SLR Slam Life Racing Honda, bringing home the elusive double here from Glen Helen Raceway. Now all eyes turn to round number 4, where we're not 100% sure where it's going to be, if we're going to have it just yet. That official announcement expected this week on the NGPC Series website, so make sure you stay tuned to that. But again, we want to thank all of our sponsors who made it possible today. Of course, FMF, Rocky Mountain ATV, MC, the Prairie Dogs for hosting it, the live stream presented by Honda. How appropriate that Honda would get the double. Precision Concepts, your premier sponsor. Beta, the official motorcycle of the NGPC. Don't forget about that 2025 Beta 450 RX raffle. AHM, Seat Concepts, Skaggs Racing. You guys are awesome. What a show it was here at Glen Helen Raceway, San Bernardino, California. 1,831 entries jam-packing this place. So if you hear any negativity about what's going on in the racing world, tracks closing, you tell them. 1,831 riders showed up to Southern California's Glen Helen to get it on, and they did so in excellent fashion. What a wonderful race it was. As, boy, Dante Oliveira, we're going to have to get an update from him to see if he's okay after going over a berm. But Tyler Lynn pulling off the improbable win here at Glen Helen Raceway. That is why you can never give up, folks. Went down twice, still able to take the checkers, and I thought we might have missed the 450 podium, but I think we're going to go back to it. I think we're actually going to hear from these guys. Maybe Matteo Oliveira, big congratulations to him, too. He had a great run in Giacomo Redondi with his brand-new Mitch Payton-backed Pro Circuit team. Those guys got to be plenty happy with a second-place performance. As we take a look at your official pro results, once again, there is the aforementioned Tyler Lynn by 4 seconds. Beats out Giacomo Redondi. Matteo Oliveira comes in third. Dante salvages a fourth. Great job by him. He holds off Ryan Surratt. Dare DiMartil, who came in number 3 in points, finishes 6th officially. Justin, have to welcome back to him. He takes home a 7th. Tony Durst, 8th today. Timothy Barnum, 9th. And Damon Woolslayer, number 10, as it was a hotly contested, entertaining, thrilling battle up and down the hills of Glen Helen here at San Bernardino, California. Still a lot of questions to answer, and I think we're about to get some of those answers, because the one and only Mark Tilley is standing by with our 450 podium. Mark, let's hear from him.
All right, Jack, we're back down here. The Premier class, the Open Pro class. Third place overall, Matteo Oliveira. You ran kind of third in the whole race. You were battling with Tyler. Tyler got up there and ended up getting the win. But take us through your race.
Yeah, it was a super fun day. Shout out to the Prairie Dogs for an awesome track. I ripped the start, and then I was feeling super good. The track suits me well, so I knew if I could get out front, I could lay down some good laps, and it was going to plan. And then little front end tuck, got passed by my brother and Giacomo, and then it was like a 3-lap war with me and Tyler. He got me, and then hammered out and got it done. So shout out to him, and shout out to the whole FMF Red Bull KTM team, my parents, my girlfriend, and everyone else, because we're making steps in the right direction and getting closer, so let's keep doing it.
Well, now, you said you went down on the first lap, I believe, towards the end of the first lap, second lap. So it was where it comes back in from the back section, that little off camber. Is it just when it dropped away, the front end just dropped away?
No, I think when we came around the first lap, there was like a pretty beat-in line, and then obviously everyone's battling the first lap, lines going everywhere, and then I just missed the berm by like a little bit and just pushed the front.
All right, so is there anybody else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just the whole team, my mechanic, Charles and Robbie for coming out and helping us out, and everyone else, thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. That's what Matteo has to say about his race. We're going to walk over here and a newcomer to the well, actually, no, not a newcomer to the podium. You won the Havasu round, but you've brought the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team with you this time. So apparently you didn't get that Tuesday call. So you got maybe a Wednesday call from the Pro Circuit team. So tell us about your race.
No, it was Tuesday night. So yeah, I got a good start. Then I was trying very hard all moto, so we went back and forth a couple of times with Dante. Then we got bottleneck a little bit in the pro section, and Tyler got us. But then Dante made a mistake, and I tried to push till the end, but Tyler he surprised me, and it's good. I'm very happy. Very happy with the second place.
Well, we saw on one lap you had gotten past Dante, and then you came down into this turn over here on the REM course, and I believe on that one you might have gone to the inside. He went around the outside and got past you. And then fast forward to the next lap with Tyler, you're like, oh, I'm going to go to the outside this time. And then he kind of came right underneath you. So that turn was kind of the death of you.
Yeah, I was jumping across the mountain, and so where I got Dante, but then he got me back. But yeah, I was super happy, as you said. So I'm 8 years older than Tyler, and I think 10 older than Matteo, so I'm pretty happy to be here. And thanks to Pro Circuit, Cherbis, GV, Alpine Stars, everybody behind, like Billy, Kelly, Bones, everybody that is here. So thank you, and looking forward for the next round that we don't know where is it.
Well, we'll figure that out. And if you got these podiums coming, you just got a couple more steps, and you're up there in just like you were at Havasu.
Yeah, we will try.
All right, well, there you have it. Now we turn to Tyler Lynn, who was kind of running around there in third. We saw you go down the same spot that Matteo went down as well. And so take us through your race.
Yeah, got off to, I think, like a fourth place spot. And just, got right behind Matteo after he slid out or something that first lap. And then the next lap, I was like, hey, don't do the same thing as him. And I ended up going down the exact same way, doing the exact same thing, unfortunately. But, just started picking off my laps after that, got some good lines, and, just kept a level head and knew that if I kept it close that, there was a chance of winning this thing, and that's what ended up happening.
All right, so I know that Mark Samuels flew all the way back over here just to see this happen. We'll get him away from the Smashburger stand here in a minute. But so who else would you like to thank for getting you here?
Yeah, obviously my mechanics for building an awesome bike. Mark as well. They has an awesome run program. My family, my fiance, my friends. I couldn't do without them. The whole Monster Energy SLR Honda team, Showa, Dunlop. C Concepts, IMS, ODI, Lava Propane, Alpine Star, Fly, Heatwave, and just everyone else behind the team. Thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. That's what the pros say about their races. Back to you, Jack.
Well, thank you so much, Mark Tilley. Excellent job. And just got another text from Bobby Dawson of Dante Oliveira camp. He says not a scratch on the champ. So that is good news. And congratulations to Tyler Lynn, making a dream come true. Giacomo Redonde and Matteo Oliveira, your 1, 2, 3 here at Glen Helen. Boffo Performance, guys. Great job. Thrilling racing you provided us with. It was awesome. Again, we thank all the wonderful sponsors who make this happen. And it all starts with FMF, Rocky Mountain ATV, MC, Honda, Precision Concepts, Beta, AHM, Seat Concepts, Skaggs Racing, and all the folks here at beautiful Glen Helen. As Old Glory waves proudly, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Big thanks goes out to Ross Fitz Production and gang. Like I said, stay tuned to the NGPC website. We'll have more information on Round 4. Check me out on Cycle Drag YouTube and Racing Jack YouTube. For everybody here at NGPC and a record-breaking performance at Glen Helen Raceway, we'll see you at round number 4. So long, everybody.